didn't check anything yet. But this stupid guy is speaking. Oops. Oh, shit. The stupid guy is speaking, so I wanted to get on. Hold on. It's one of those. It's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. Yeah. Yeah. It's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Itchy face. I didn't even, like, put on makeup or, like, anything. I don't know. I'm just not in it right now. I mean, I'm in it, but I'm not in the makeup thing. Does that make sense? That's what I meant. Hold on. Big buzz. Oh, maybe not. Bitch. Okay. Maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, yeah, I'm a mess. Whatever. Actually, I'm not a mess. I'm actually fine. It's a reaction to dopey. It is. That's what it is, Badger. Hi, Peace Love. Hi. I'm sorry I'm early. I know I'm early, but Shitface was going to start talking, and I thought, well, maybe I want to listen to Shitface. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm here. I'm not even done, like, totally. I didn't even check what makeup I did have on. But anyway. You don't come for the makeup tips. That's for fuck's sake, sure. Good morning, Mr. Spock. Good morning. Fascinating. All right, well, dipshit is talking. I need to take a sip of coffee first. I haven't had any coffee. Thank Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for coffee. I appreciate you so much. You might be alive when it comes to just coffee. Hi, Scott. Good morning. I know, dipshit's on, so... Yeah. Ay. I don't know. Where do I begin? Okay, I can't even fucking figure that out. Hold on a second. Yeah, I know. He's starting to talk. I figure it'll be a minute. Hold on. Let me just make my screen a little smaller. I feel the need. You know how you hover your mouse over shit and you hope that your mouse, you don't need makeup. Thank you. Thank you, please. It doesn't do me any good anyway, so I'm not even sure. Hi. Yeah, it would be more appropriate name. Lolo. It would. But then I want to get mixed up with hi-fi. So that's probably why I did it. It would. Yeah, because I'm about to get real motherfucking high. Okay. Dipshit has started talking, so I'm gonna let him talk while I light a joint. Okay. Let's see where he's at.
Put America first.
Wait.
Of ensuring that our warfighters have everything they need.
And so many
wait. They already talked? I totally missed it. I missed everybody. Oh, shit. What are we doing? Department of War. Whoa. How did I miss everybody? They talk so little.
Every single day of watching him put America first, of ensuring that our warfighters have everything they need. His compass is clear.
He's
easy to follow because you know he has our back.
Shit!
I was thinking backstage.
Oh shit!
The man who was the commander-in-chief when the War Department was created was George Washington. The man who was president when the War Department was reestablished is President Trump. And when he found out about this gathering of senior leaders, he said, I would be honored to come in order to address and thank
because he wasn't invited at first.
Our nation. He has a heart full of gratitude and love for what you do, and we get a chance to see it every day. And I'm honored that this morning you all firsthand get to see it as well. So ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming the 45th and 47th
they
President of the
say it like
United
they're
States,
so,
our
they
Commander
have
in
such
Chief,
gravitas.
Donald J. Trump.
You don't have gravitas on fuck all anything, sir. You're a drunk. Everybody knows it. You're a TV presenter. And that other guy is a criminal and a child rapist. So there you go. That's what you've got, folks. This guy invited himself, okay? This guy, he invited himself to the party. He wasn't invited to this meeting. Think about it. This piece of shit wasn't invited to this meeting.
Thank you very much, Pete. Great job you're doing, too.
Great job you're doing.
Job.
He has to
I've
say that.
I've never walked
Great
into
job.
a room so silent before. This is very... Don't laugh. Don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room.
What's
of course,
going
there goes
on?
Your rank, there goes your future.
What's going on?
But you just feel nice and loose, okay? Because we're all on the same team. And I was told that, sir, you won't hear a murmur in the room. I said, we got to loosen these guys up a little bit. So you just have a good time. But I want to thank Secretary
What is
Hegseth
happening?
and General Kane, General Raisin Kane for a reason they call him that. When I heard his name, I said, you're the guy I'm looking for. The Joint Chiefs of Staff and so many others in this room who together represent the greatest and most elite fighting force in the history of the world, the United States military. We're very proud of our military. I rebuilt the military during my first term.
Dean Martin is our president.
Greatest achievements. We had the greatest economy in history, and I built the military. Those are the two things I say more than anything else. And I also kept us safe at the borders. We had very good borders. We didn't have people coming in from jails and prisons and everything.
Are you sure about
took
that?
place
Are
over
you
the
sure
last
about
4
that?
years. I'll never forget what happened to this country over the last 4
This
years.
is it, yeah.
The incompetence.
Hi, Jane. Hi, Lisa. Grace,
There could be no
Lisa.
higher honor than to serve as your commander-in-chief. It is a great honor. I look at you, just incredible people.
My God.
Central casting.
This is so embarrassing.
To each
This
and
is
every
so
one of
embarrassing.
you, thank you for your
know.
unwavering devotion
Mr.
to the armed forces and to
It's
the
like
country.
a mind melt. No, it's like a...
We've all sworn a sacred oath to
tribble.
defend. We all
He's
have
like a
that oath,
tribble.
every one of us. I'm thrilled to be here this morning to address the senior
He's the great
leadership
orange
of
tribble.
what is once again known around the world as the Department of War. I know Pete spoke about it. He gave a great speech, I thought. Great speech. I don't want him to get so good. I hate that. You know? No, I hate it.
Wait, who gave a great speech?
I almost fired him. I said,
Good morning,
"You can't-
Jared.
I don't want to go on after that." No, he gave a
said
great
that?
speech, but he talked about Department of War. We were sitting there. I said, "Didn't it used to be called the Department of War?" And he goes, "Yes, sir. They changed it like in the early 50s. So we won the First World War. We won the Second World War. We won everything in between and everything before that. We only won. And then we went away woke. That was probably the first sign of wokeness.
I'm going to call Pete Full Metal
We
Jackass.
changed it to defense instead of war." And I said, "What do you think?
That's
How do you
great.
think if we changed it back? Would that be a nice idea?"
Morning,
And Pete loved it
J-Rams.
immediately. Some people thought about it. You know, they gave it a little thought. But in the end,
They gave it a
we
little
did
thought.
And I have to be honest, it's so popular. I
Really?
thought it would be met with
Who's
fury on the left.
Really? Is it
But they're
popular?
sort of giving up, I must be honest with you. They've had it. They've had it with Trump. They've been after me for so many years now. Here we are. Here we are. Come to the White House anytime you'd like. No, they've given up. They're bad, a lot of bad people. But all over, it's been so popular. It's been very popular. I really thought that we were going to have to sort of fight it through. There's been no fight.
Really?
No fight.
No fight.
Like when I called the Gulf of America, the Gulf of America, because to me it was always the Gulf of America. I could never understand. We have 92% of the frontage.
He froze.
And for years, actually 350 years, they were there before us. It was called the Gulf of Mexico. I just had this idea. I'm looking at a map. I'm saying, we have most of the
I just
frontage.
had this
Why
idea.
is it Gulf of Mexico? Why
Everybody
isn't it
hates him, Grace Lisa.
Gulf of America? And I made the change, and it went smoothly. I mean, we had a couple of fake news outlets that refused to make the change. And then one of them, AP, took us to court, and we won. And the judge, who was a somewhat liberal judge, said, The name
not
is
true.
the Gulf of America because AP refused to call it the Gulf
That's
of
not true.
America. They wrote,
None of that happened.
they're not a good outfit, by the way. They call it the Gulf of Mexico. I said, no, the Gulf of America is the name. And the judge actually said that, in fact, you can't even go into the room because what you're doing is not appropriate. The name is the Gulf of America. Google
The judge
Maps
said
changed
that?
the name. Everybody did, but AP wouldn't. And then we won in court. How about that? Isn't that so
Did you?
cool? The Secretary Hex
I don't know. I just wanted to
beautifully
check that.
described the name change reflects far more than
Morning,
the shift in branding. It's really a
Morning,
historic
Carrie.
reassertion of our purpose and our identity and our pride. That's when we go with the word war. And you know, we want war because we want to have no wars, but you have to be there, and you know, sometimes you have to do it. I have settled so many wars since we're here almost 9 months, and I've settled 7, and yesterday we might have settled the biggest of them all, although I don't know. Pakistan, India was very big.
Did we? Did we
Both
solve it,
nuclear
though?
powers, I
Are those
settled
solved?
that.
Really?
But yesterday could be
You made a
the
video to
settlement
go with
in
it?
the Middle
Oh,
East.
Jay, where is it? Is it on
happened for
Blue Sky?
3,000 years. I said, how long have you been fighting? 3,000 years.
You
So that's a
Hannibal,
long
do
time.
Hannibal.
But we got it, I think, settled. We'll see. Hamas has to agree.
Come on, sharks.
And if they don't, it's going to be very tough on them, but it is what it is.
Wait a minute. I think
But
it's
all of
Bibi
the
that didn't
Arab
agree.
nations, Muslim nations have agreed. Israel has agreed. It's an amazing
Israel
thing. It
agreed?
just came together.
Israel
War
agreed?
is very strange. You know,
Really?
you never know what's going to happen with war. The easiest one of them all is Putin. I said, number one, it's a war that would have never happened if I were president, if the election weren't
Yeah,
rigged.
you do
If
like
I
to say
were
that.
president, that war would have never happened. Not even a little chance. And it didn't happen for 4 years.
Oh, okay.
But I knew Putin very well,
what
and
a
I thought that
coinkydink.
would be easy because I know him so
What a
well.
coinkydink.
Well, that one turned out to be the hardest of them all. We had some that were not settlable, and they all got settled. So if this works out, that we did yesterday with the Middle East, then that's more than a war. That's lots of wars. That's all combined. That's a lot of wars. Many of you were over there in many different capacities in many different countries. That's a big part
That's
of the
a
earth.
big, yeah.
But if that works out, it
That's
would
right.
be 8 plus. I could give myself 2 or 3 for that one. And then we just have the one to settle, and we have to settle it up with
Just the
President
one?
Putin. And
Oh, the other
Zelensky
one.
got to get them together and get it done. But the only way we can do that is through strength. I mean, if we were weak, they wouldn't even take my phone call. But we have extreme
Since
strength.
you're not, they will take your phone call.
We had the horror show in Afghanistan, which is really the reason I think that Putin went in. He saw that horror show by Biden and his team of incompetent people. And that showed, I think it gave him a path in. I wasn't there any longer. I watched that, and it was so horrible. I think it was the most embarrassing
horrible?
day in the history of our country.
Horrible.
And now we're back. And that's it. We're not going to have any of that crap happen, I can tell you. That was terrible, so terrible. Together we're
What is he talking
reawakening
about?
the warrior spirit, and this is a spirit that won and built this nation, and from the
Basic training is being
that
restored
tamed
to what
the
it
Great
should be.
Plains, to the
this me?
ferocious,
Who
unyielding
said that?
power of Patton
Who
Bradley,
the fuck said that?
the great General
Who's
Douglas.
the slimy little
McGraw,
communist
these are
shit
all
twinkle
great
toed
men
cocksucker down here who just
in
signed his
this
own death
effort.
warrant?
We're a team, and so my
Nobody,
message
huh?
to you is very simple.
The
I am
very
with you. I
fucking
support
godmother
you,
said,
and as
I'll
president,
fucking stand.
I
I
have
will
your back
PT you all until
100%.
you
You'll
fucking
never see
die.
me even waver a little bit.
Scary,
That's the way it is.
tough, and
And that
disciplined.
includes the
Private
great
pile, I'm
police
gonna give you
officers
3
and
seconds.
Oh, I
firemen
see.
and all
Exactly
these
3
people that
fucking
work.
seconds to wipe that
So,
stupid-looking grin off your face,
Together
or
over
I
the
will
next few
gouge
years,
out
we're
your
going to make our
eyeballs and
military
skull
stronger,
fuck
tougher,
you.
faster,
1,
fiercer, and more
2.
powerful than it has ever been before. I rebuilt our nuclear, as you probably know, but we'll
you probably
upgrade that
know.
also, and just
Hi,
hope we never have to
Neil.
use it.
Good
We have to hope we never
morning.
have to use it.
Okay.
Because the
If you
power of
promise
that
not
is
many.
so
This is all
incredible.
an anti-woke
I
weenie
see
wag.
things I don't
Yes,
think they
Grace
show it to you.
Lisa.
I really wouldn't want them to show it to you.
I'm stealing that for the
But when
name
you
of the
see
show.
result of
I'm sorry.
what's
That's
left,
fantastic.
you never want to use that. Never, never, ever. We were a little
Yeah.
bit threatened by Russia,
It's a sleepy
recently,
show me yours and I'll show you
and I
mine.
sent a
That's it.
submarine, nuclear submarine, the most lethal
Tell me that is
weapon
you, just
ever
you
made.
sharing the clip. No,
Number
it's
one,
not
you
being
can't
spread.
detect it. There's no way. We're 25 years
Jay made a
ahead
mashup.
of Russia and China.
Why is he
in submarines.
frozen?
Russia's actually second in submarines. China's third, but they're coming up. They're coming up. They're way lower in nuclear.
He's frozen. I didn't do it.
They're way lower in nuclear too, but in 5 years they'll be equal. They're coming up, and you don't have to be that good with. So that works for. I mentioned the word nuclear.
Oh, fuck.
Moved
AP, get your shit together.
a submarine or two. I won't say about the two.
It's a rambling party political
Over to
speech, not
the
even a good one.
Coast.
An actual
Of Russia?
wing would be the whole
Just to be
thing.
careful. 'Cause
What
we
a waste
can't
of time for the audience.
let people throw around
Yeah, heckle. It's true.
that word.
Top military fluent for listen to this.
I call it the N word. There are two N words, and you can't use either of them. You can't use either of them. And frankly,
What?
if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer,
What?
but it's something we don't ever want to even have to think about. But when somebody
But I won't
mentions it, that
mention it.
submarine started immediately
Hi, Pepper.
thereafter. And it's just lurking, but I'm sure we're not going to have to use it. But it's an amazing, it's undetectable.
I want these
totally.
people
Ours
out of
is-
power.
theirs isn't.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Theirs are
Can we
totally
stop this?
detectable. We can
This is
detect them easily.
terrible.
We go right to the spot.
I want this to
But
be
we have,
bad. I want this to be over.
genius
Over. It's bad.
Apparatus
It's so
that doesn't
bad. I
allow
need this to be
detection. It
over.
doesn't
I need
allow
this man to
detection
be
at
out of
all
power.
by anybody.
don't care how it
above water or
happens.
Below water. It's incredible. We're way ahead of everybody in that. And other
But I
things.
need it.
As a result of the exciting renewal of the spirit of our armed
I
forces, and
cannot
that's
believe
what
this
it is.
country.
It's really reaching
so disappointed
its
in this
spirit,
country.
unprecedented heights. Over the past 8 months, new enlistments, I'm so proud of this, have surged to record highs, the highest we've ever had.
I know, not one guy has thrown
And
a shoe
we
yet. He
used
said
to
they
have
could.
recruiting shortages. If you remember, about a year and a half ago, I was
Too. Said it. I
at
didn't.
the beginning stage of a campaign, and things came out that you couldn't get people to join the armed forces. And by the
When
way,
did
the
that
police
come
also,
out? I don't even think that's true.
fire department. I
I
always
think
put
that's
the
not
fire
true.
department in because they're great. They're great, and I got 95% of their vote too. That helps.
Who?
When you get
Who?
95% of their vote, you always have to mention
95%
them.
of whose
But they're
vote?
great, and they're brave. In our inner cities, which
95%
we're
of
going to be
whose
talking
vote?
about, because it's a big part of war now. It's a big part of war. But the firemen go up in ladders and you have
God,
people
please,
shooting at them
God.
while they're up in ladders. I don't even know if anybody heard
Please.
that. But, and I said, don't talk about it much, but I think you have to. Our firemen are incredible. They're up in one of these ladders that goes way up to the sky, rescuing people, and you have animals shooting at them, shooting bullets at firemen that are
I'm sorry.
way up in death territory. You fall off that ladder, it's over. It's over. They
Can
don't even have
someone
to
get a
inspect
beaver
you.
with a gun? I'm sorry.
When you hit the
I know
ground.
this is a real thing.
And you have
I-
people
I
shooting bullets
apologize.
at them in some of these inner cities. We're not going to let that happen.
But that isn't okay. Wait, no, whoa,
so I always
whoa,
mention
whoa,
the firemen because
whoa.
that's
He's
actually
talking about
a big
Idaho,
problem we have.
where
They are
firefighters were
unbelievable.
shot.
Like you,
I
they're
think.
unbelievable people. For the first time on record in 2025, the Navy, Air Force, and Space Force all
know-
met or surpassed their.
No wonder they need more operatives. No wonder they need operatives because you cannot sell this shit without some shenanigans. That's why all the operatives out there trying to undermine left voices and things. That's why. That's why all you guys exist. Now I know. Because you have to. You have to in order to front this shit show. It's so ridiculous. They weren't on ladders. I don't know who the guy was that shot them. I don't know what his beef was. But there was definitely a situation that is very serious and very alarming for people to get shot when they're trying to go and do their thing. Or anytime, really. But this is ridiculous. I don't know what he's selling, what vision he's trying to sell to these guys and ladies, he, she's, and theys. But I'm telling you right now, he's boondoggling them. Well, attempting to. I don't think any of the people in the room really understand or believe what he's saying. But of course, they can't say anything because they'll be court-martialed or something and lose everything.
Recruiting goals 3 months early. That never happened before.
Oh my God.
And the Army did even better. Congratulations, Army. they met everything. And these were the highest standards because we're making it larger. So these were much higher standards than you had 4 years ago, 3 years ago, during the Sleepy Joe Biden era.
We have higher standards?
And the Army did it.
We have higher standards now?
Months early.
That's not true.
And you remember, a year and a half ago, they said
not true.
big stories that we're way behind with the Army, Air Force, the Navy, the Marines. We're way behind. Coast Guard.
Is he literally just riffing?
And even Space Force. I love Space Force because that was my creation.
Is he having a stroke or am I?
I love it. And the people we put in there were good.
No.
I got that right. We put in great people initially, and we
really
dominated. We really dominate in that sphere now.
These people flew, some of them halfway around the world.
Russia, and now we dominate. Space Force turned out to be a very important thing. I said from the beginning, when Biden came into office, he wanted to terminate.
Right? There's no teleprompter.
And this thing called Space Force, so we could get rid of that. And he got hammered by the people in this room.
He did?
Suggesting
really?
Because it's very important, one of the most important.
I never saw that. I never heard it.
And as time goes by, it'll get more and more important. But we're now at 106% of our recruiting targets for the year, and that's the best in far more than a generation.
Yeah, I agree, Badge.
And for the Marines, morale is so strong that the Marine Corps will meet its 2026 retention targets before the end of October, which never happens. And that's the earliest it's ever happened in the history of our country.
Wait, what? Retention
And it makes
targets?
you feel good, I felt guilty. I'd go make a speech in front of never people like you. You are the leaders. But people, soldiers. And I felt embarrassed because there'd be stories about, we couldn't fill up our Army, Navy, Air Force. We couldn't fill them up. And it was headlines.
Yeah, why does he look like Paul Gosar?
It was during Biden's
It's a good one. Yes,
4
Badge.
years. The auto pen. I call him the auto pen. It's how would you like to have your thing signed by an auto pen? When I have a general and I have to sign for a general because we have beautiful paper, the gorgeous paper.
The gorgeous
I said
paper?
throw a little more gold on it. They deserve it. I want the A paper, not the D paper. We used to sign a piece of garbage. I said, this man's going to be a general, right? Yeah. I don't want to use this. I want to use the big, beautiful, firm paper.
I can't.
I want to use the real gold writing.
What?
When you talk about the position, and they're beautiful.
What?
And
the real gold
how would you like
writing?
to have that where some kid sitting in the back office is having it signed with an auto pen? I thought about it, and I thought about you
Gold
people
on
first,
paper?
admirals, generals. I said, somebody works this
Long
his
live
whole
Bellum.
life. He gets into maybe the academies.
What's
or
that?
wherever,
What's that
but however
fancy
you got
Latin
there,
word for long
and
live
you go
or
through
something?
years
This is
of work,
insane.
and now you become an admiral.
This is
or
insane,
general
Gal.
or
Good
whatever.
morning.
And when you do, the President of the United States signs your commission, as you know, and that commission is beautifully displayed. And I sign it. Actually, I love my signature. I really do. Everyone loves my signature.
Oh my God!
But I
this
signed
is
it
so
very proudly,
weird.
and I always think to myself,
Where's
how
the
can you have an
coup?
auto pen sign this? It's just so disrespectful. To me, it's just totally disrespectful.
Yes, your guess about
And
the
it turned
meeting
out that
was
almost
right,
everything
Gal.
he did
Yes.
was signed by auto pen, except for when he gave his son Hunter pardon. He signed that one. And that's actually the worst signature I've ever seen. That was
Who is laughing?
The auto pen looks much better. But as leaders, our commitment to every patriot who put on the uniform is to ensure that American military remains the most lethal and dominant
Gal,
on the
thank
planet.
you. Gal dropped a
Not
link
merely
about
for
her.
a few years, but for the
His staff is laughing. Yeah. Oops, that wasn't me.
decades, be so strong that no nation will dare challenge us,
On the
so
Epstein
powerful
birthday
that
card.
no enemy will dare threaten us, and so capable that no adversary can even think about beating us. And we've had it recently. I had India and Pakistan were going at it, and I called them both.
All right.
And in this case, I used trade.
I
I'm not
killed
gonna trade with
7
you. You
giants
start two
with
nuclear
one
nations,
SWAT.
Big nuclear.
It's the little Taylor.
No, you cannot
He's just
do
the little
that. I
Taylor.
said, yes, I can. You go into this
Everything is a
war that
fucking
I'm hearing
Grimm's
about.
fairy
You know,
tale.
actually, they just shot down 7 planes. 7 planes. It was starting.
7?
There's a lot of bad blood. And I said, you do this, there's not going to be any trade. And I stopped the war. It was going.
You
it was
do this,
raging
I'm going to stop
for
all.
4 days. But that
You do this, I'm going to stop all India businesses from exporting to the United States. I just take a moment. Just take that in for a moment. You do this, and I'm going to stop all trade from India to the United States. Really? I wish he'd try. I really wish he'd try. He does look like he's on the verge of collapsing. After the chips are installed, they'll work out the laughter. Yeah, exactly. It's Peapod people. Let the plotting begin. Shit, man. If they don't have the coup already planned out, then they're not worth their salt.
It was just the beginning, and we stopped it. It was a great thing, and the
those
Prime
fishing
Minister
boats
of
don't
Pakistan
even fight
was
back.
here, along
Yeah,
with
exactly.
the Field Marshal, who's a very important guy
yeah,
in Pakistan, and he was here 3 days ago.
Just on
And I didn't
film.
even realize it as beautiful as he said it, but he said that to a group of people that were with us,
Wow.
2 generals, but a
It's
group.
crazy.
He said this man saved millions of lives because he saved the war from going on.
Who said
And
that?
that war was going to get very bad, very, very bad. President Trump saved millions and millions of lives. That was a bad war. And I was very honored. I loved the way he said it. Susie Wiles was there. She said that was the most beautiful thing. But we saved a lot of them. Saved a lot of them. Even in Africa, we saved.
What are we talking about?
The Congo.
The Congo.
With
Oh, is there nothing
Rwanda.
happening there?
They've been fighting for 31 years, 10 million people
He
dead.
should talk more about
I
our
got
great
that
World
one
War
done.
I era concrete
And
ships. I agree.
very proud of it. So if this works out, we'll have 8 in 8 months. That's pretty good. Nobody's ever done that. Will you get the Nobel Prize? Absolutely not. They'll give it to some guy that didn't do a damn thing. They'll give it to a guy that wrote a book about the mind of Donald Trump and what it took to solve the wars. And he'll get the Nobel Prize will go to a writer.
What?
No, but well, let's
Is this
see
in his
what
head?
happens.
This is in his
but
head,
it's,
I
be a
think.
big insult to our
It's not
country.
real.
I will tell you that. I don't want it. I want the country to get it.
Oh.
It should get it because there's never been anything like it. Think of it. So if this happens, I think it will. I don't say that lightly because I know more about deals than anybody. This is what my whole life was based on. And they can change, and this can certainly change. But we have just about everybody. We have one signature that we need, and that signature will pay in hell if they don't sign. I hope they sign for their own good and
What are we talking about?
create
Signing
something
what?
really great.
Well, jelly
But
of Obama. Yeah, he's
To have
totally.
done 8 of them
Yeah, of course they do.
is just like such an honor. And then we have Putin and Zelensky. The easiest one of them all.
The
I
easiest
said, that
one of
one
them
I'll
all.
get done. I thought that was going to be first. The others are much harder, some of them. Azerbaijan this was going on for 36 years.
With who?
They said it's not solvable,
With
so
who?
you can't, don't do it. I said,
Come
I
on.
will do it. I will do it. And I got on the phone with the 2 countries. They were
Right,
great.
which is the other
They were
country?
great. I knew immediately. I knew as soon as I started talking to them, we're going to solve that war. We did.
Tell us
Now
which
they're
other
so
country
happy.
there
Now they're
was.
friends. One said he's been president for 32 years, 22 years. He said, for 22 years, I did nothing but kill his people. They were in the room together at the Oval Office.
Good.
And they started off spread like this. I have the beautiful Resolute desk. And one was here.
At the end of the
And
Resolute
one was
desk?
here.
At each end of the
You
Resolute
couldn't
desk?
get further away. That's the furthest I've ever seen 2 people in front of
Maybe.
me.
Yeah, Adderall.
And
could
as
be
the hour
kicking
went
in.
by, they got
Does he know
closer,
who he's
closer,
talking
and
to?
closer.
I
And
don't
at the end of the hour, we had it done.
No,
and they hugged and
no,
hugged
he
and
didn't.
hugged. And I said, that's so nice, and you're going to remain friends. And I spoke to them, one of them the other day. He said, no, he's now my friend.
Now we're going
But
out
for 22
for
years,
pedicures.
he's been
Mani
the
Petty
head
Day.
of
It's Mani Petty Day for
22
Azerbaijan
years.
and Armenia.
And the other guy, great guy too, 7. And you know that war, that was a war that was not solvable.
Oh my God.
He said for 7 years. The other one said for 22 years. All I did was kill his people. That's all I've done. I said,
Really?
well, we're
All
going to put a
you've
stop
done?
to that. So
Has there
we
been a
solved that.
raging war
So
between
it's a great thing. It's a
Armenia
great
and
feeling. You're saving
Azerbaijan, like on the ground?
Kosovo and Serbia. You're saving
Really?
so many lives doing
Am I
this, so
wrong?
we can
I could
do
be
it.
wrong.
But our people deserve nothing less than the very best. And
Yeah, Hegseth
We're
was
never
just,
gonna let
well,
them
he just
down.
introduced him.
And if we can solve wars instead of
just
you having
introduced
to
him.
fight wars,
Yeah,
wouldn't
they
that
should
be
just arrest him
wonderful?
right now.
Right? Wouldn't that be wonderful? That's why one of the first executive orders I signed upon taking office was to restore the principle of merit. That's the most important word. Other than the word tariff, I love tariffs. Most beautiful word. but I'm not allowed to say that anymore. I said, tariff is my favorite word. I love the word tariff. You know, we're becoming rich as hell. We have a big case in front of the Supreme Court, but I can't imagine. Because this is what other nations have done to us.
The Supreme Court ruling against
we have, great legal grounds, but you still have a case. It would be very bad if something happened. But I said, my favorite word in the English dictionary is the word tariff. And people thought that was strange. And the fake news came over and they really hit me hard on it. They said, what about love? What about religion? What about God? What about wife,
we
family?
Knew. Don't worry.
I got killed when I said tariff is my favorite word. So I changed it. It's now my 5th favorite word. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But they hit me hard. But it is. I mean, when you look at, we've taken in trillions of dollars.
All right,
we're
let's
rich,
Let's check
rich
it.
again.
Let's check it.
There'll never be, when we finish this out,
We don't have a
there'll
deficit?
never be any wealth like
We don't have a debit? I mean, or debt?
Other countries were taking advantage of us for years and years. You know that better than anybody.
Let's check it.
And now we're treating them fairly. But the money coming in is, we've never seen anything like it. The other day they had $31 billion that they found, $31 billion. So we found $31 billion and we're not sure from where it came.
What?
A gentleman came in, a financial
Who?
guy.
A financial
I said,
guy?
well, what does that mean? He said, we don't know where it came. I said, check the tariff shelf. No, sir, the tariffs haven't started in that sector yet. I said, yes, they have. They started 7 weeks ago. Check it. Comes back 20 minutes later. Sir, you're right. It came from tariffs. $31 billion.
How do
That's
you
enough
not
to buy a
know
lot
where
of
money comes from?
battleships, Admiral, to use an old term.
What?
I think we should maybe
none
start
of that
thinking about
happened.
battleships.
None
by
of
the
that
way.
happened.
You know, we have a Secretary of the Navy came to me because I look at the Iowa out in California and I look at different ships and the old pictures. I used to watch Victory at Sea. I love Victory at Sea. Look at these admirals. It's got to be your all-time in black and white. And I look at those ships. They came with the destroyers alongside of them, and man, nothing was going to stop. They were 20 deep.
I'm going to tell you about the economics right now. Okay.
There was nothing going to stop them. And we actually talk about, those ships. Some people would say, no, that's old technology. I don't know. I don't think it's old technology when you look at those guns. But it's something we're actually considering, the concept of battleship. Nice 6-inch sides, solid steel, not aluminum that melts if it looks at a missile coming at it. Starts melting as the missile's about 2 miles away. Now, those ships, they don't make them that way anymore, but you look at it and your secretary likes it, and I'm sort of open to it. And bullets are a lot less expensive than missiles. A lot of reasons. I should take a vote, but I'm afraid to take that vote because I may get voted out on that one.
What are we
but I
talking
tell
about?
You, it's something we're seriously considering. There were powers. There were big powers. They were just about as mean and scary as you could be. And so we're looking at that. One of the biggest cases that we won was the decision of the United States Supreme Court to allow us to proceed on the word merit. So
no, the biggest success you had with the Supreme Court is to name you king. That was your favorite, and it should be your favorite. I know. This man is absolutely, I don't know if the syphilis should take him right now or something, but I would go for an aneurysm on the stage. I would support that. Because this man is evil. So I don't know how and how we get this administration, this regime, this particular regime out of power. But fucking let's figure it out. This is so fucking Nazi fucking Reichstag blah bullshit bonkers, Pep. I don't even understand I don't understand how we got here, actually. I really don't understand how we got here. I don't. Because this is just the dumbest. This administration is actually doing all of the shit and then some that they said they would. Yeah, just a piece of 3-inch steel. That's all we need. Stairs. That's. Hi, Max. He's wet sniffling. Yeah. Yeah, he's got that nasal drip from the Adderall or whatever it is. I don't know how those pills work, so frankly, but I imagine.
Those two words are right up there. So this is, I would say, the opposite if you ask for a definition. The opposite
If this is your president, you're a fucking
correctness.
idiot. Let me just tell you
We
that.
went through political correct, where you had to have people that were totally unfit to be doing what you're doing for many reasons. I won't get into them. But for many reasons, they were unfit. Now, it's all based on merit. That was such an unbelievable decision. I didn't expect we were going to win that one. We went in. We said we need it. We went in for colleges, where kids with a C average are getting into the best colleges, and the kids with A averages won't get in. And kids with the highest boards and the highest marks or the best marks couldn't get into the best schools. And people that had not good boards and not very good marks, I mean, okay, but nothing special, they were getting into our best colleges. I said, this is just crazy. You can't run a country like this. And it was lingering for years, and it got to the Supreme Court, and we won that decision. Merit, everything's based on merit. You're all based on merit. We're not going to have somebody taking your place for political reasons because they are politically correct, and you're not.
What? That's not how it works.
We take the people that are going to do the best job.
Everyone passes the same tests. There is no a non-merit performance in the military. It is based on performance. Okay, so that's basically it. Yeah, but it's not. White males don't have the merit, actually.
That's all. It's very simple. And that's the way our country was built.
He thinks
we were
so.
built on merit. We got away from it for a long time.
Well, it's funny because you were
And
built on
everyone understands it,
scamming
and
banks.
It was done. It was approved. I give great
Yeah,
credit
if karma
to the
is
Supreme
real,
Court,
it's
'cause I
not.
thought they
Okay,
had
I'm gonna
tremendous
tell you
courage.
right now, karma's not real.
I didn't think they'd do that.
The
That
bad
was
people
tremendous.
do continue to win
I give them
sometimes.
maybe for that decision almost more than anything, because
I
it's a
feel like
hard
I'm living
decision to
proof
make. It's
of
really
like
hard. The
nice
apparatus
people
of our
losing.
country was not set up for merit. It was set up for political correctness. And you can
No, it
never
wasn't.
be great
You still have
if
to
you're going
pass
to do that.
the
And we're going to
same
be greater
tests.
than we ever were before. We're bringing
God.
back a focus on fitness, ability,
A Wharton
character,
degree.
and strength. And
I got a UC
that's
Davis
because the
degree, but I
purposes
probably
of
didn't deserve it
American
either.
military is not to protect anyone's feelings. It's to protect our republic, and it's the republic that we dearly love. It's to protect our country. We will not be politically correct when it comes to defending American freedom, and we will be a fighting and winning machine. We want to fight, we want to win, and we want to fight as little as possible. You have to count on
is this
people like
even
me to keep
happening?
you out of wars, because we don't want
Why
to
are we even
go
here?
into wars. Many of the wars that I just told you about, we could have entered those wars and settled them in a different way, lose a lot of our troops. And we could have settled them, I guess, differently. Maybe not, actually. Actually, you might not have been able to settle them. We just would have been in the middle of a lot of firepower. But when we do need it, you're going to be so ready. And you know it. But very importantly,
know it.
with that
And
goal
you know
in
it.
mind,
Every
I've
time he says
committed
that,
to
I
spending
think of that
over
song. You're sexy and you know it. It is utter bollocks, yeah. Oops.
$1 trillion on our military in 2026, and that's the most in the history of our country. $1 trillion.
Well,
That's a lot
okay.
of money.
Wanna
I
know
hope you
why?
like that, ma'am.
You want to know why it's $1 trillion? Because the Department of Homeland Security's budget went up bazillions of dollars. That's why it's $1 trillion, is because they gave more money to the Department of Homeland Security and Krispy Noam so that she can get more tight jeans off of the TikTok shop. That's why. Or Kohl's. I don't know. She might go to Kohl's. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know her life.
And sirs, I hope you like it. That's a hell of a lot of money. We have the best of everything. Every branch is seeing major investments, and as I announced in the Oval Office in March, we are rapidly moving forward with the first ever 6th generation fighter jet. I didn't name it. I did not name it. Boeing came in and they said, sir, this is our submittal. It's the greatest fighting jet ever done. And, you know, they're testing all these planes. All the companies are testing, and this one tested like through the roof. And they said, we'd like to name it the F-47.
No.
I said, all right, let me think about it.
No.
Then after thinking for about 2 seconds, I said, okay. You know.
No. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. One of his cronies gave it that name, if indeed it's even called that. This is so fucking ridiculous. Yeah, the money's going to building concentration camps and paying ICE agents to throw women to the floor who then have to be hospitalized. I'm sorry, if you're an ICE agent, I don't fucking care if you need a job. Go to McDonald's. I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm drawing the line on that. I'm drawing the line on actually joining the Gestapo because I can't afford a vacation to Disneyland. Sorry. I don't have any fucking, I have zero fucking feelings for any ICE officer. I have zero feelings. Find another job. But fuck you. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care if you think you're doing something. You shoot people in the back when they're running away. You steal people off the streets. You rip them out of their children's arms. It's just disgusting to me. You're all disgusting, ICE agents. You're all fucking disgusting people. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That means 47. I'm 47. So I'm 45, 46, and 47. Yeah, if you think about it. I just don't want the credit for 46. I don't want to have their open borders.
I can't.
People coming in from all over the world, including jails and mental institutes. I don't want that on my record.
None of
but
that is true.
I like having it. We're investing tens of billions of dollars in modernizing our nuclear deterrence capabilities like never before. And we've begun construction on what we call the Golden Dome missile defense shield. It'll be the most sophisticated in the world. You watched it.
I know. I wish he never got past age 47.
Until they had some problems at the end with a little bit of a lack of
See, this is why I don't believe in karma.
ammunition, defensive ammunition, but they've got that taken care of. But I tell you, it's what we're doing is so good, and we deserve it. You know, we help other countries with it. We don't have it ourselves. And Canada called me a couple of weeks ago. They want to be part of it. To which I said, well, why don't you just join our country? You become 51, become the 51st state, and you get it for free. So I don't know if that made a big impact, but it does make a lot of sense. It actually makes, because they're having a hard time up there in Canada now, because as you know, with tariffs, everyone's coming into our country. We have more investment than we've ever had before. $17 trillion coming in. As an example,
no one thinks
in 4
you did,
years,
Neil, don't worry.
Biden didn't have $1 trillion. We have $17 trillion more than that in 8 months coming in. And they're coming in from Canada, Mexico, from Europe, from all over. AI,
and you're extorting people.
Auto plants. Everybody's coming back to the United States.
No one is.
Under my budget, we will be expanding the U.S. Navy by at least 19 ships next year, including submarines, destroyers, assault ships, and more. And it's going to be much more than that as we go along. Because we basically don't build
have
ships
cameras
anymore.
on
We do
the
build submarines, but we don't build ships. Do you know in the Second World War, they were freighters and different types, but we were doing a ship a day. And now we don't do ships. And I'm not a fan of some of the ships you do. I'm a very aesthetic person, and I don't like some of the ships you're doing aesthetically. They say, oh, it's stealth. I say, that's not stealth. An ugly ship is not necessary in order to say you're stealth. By the way, the B-2 bombers were incredible. That is stealth. They went into that. I was with General Kane and Pete were in the, we call it the war room.
Okay, no problem, Lee.
We're watching them go in, and they were totally untouched. They were not seen.
It needs
they were
gold,
literally not seen. They dropped their bombs. They hit every single one of them, hit its target. It was total obliteration.
Oh, I'm not coming
CNN,
back
when
yet.
we came back,
No,
fake
Black
news,
Bear,
CNN.
don't.
Oh,
Stay
the camera
there.
just went off.
Stay there.
You know, the camera, every time I
Pasta's
mention
better
it, they
at
turn the camera
minimum.
off because it's never good.
Minimum.
They said, this is a problem. But I don't blame them. You're better off keeping it off. But they have some
Aneurysm,
scammer
come on. Yeah, come
reporter
on. Team
who started saying, without any
aneurysm. That's
knowledge,
what I
said,
am.
he may not have hit the targets as well as they thought. It may not have been obliteration. He did hit the targets. You know,
He's
gotta
going
give us a
over
little
old
credit,
stuff.
right? It was obliteration, it turned out.
Oh, boy.
The Atomic Energy Commission said it was obliteration. They had not
Really?
only did they hit
Did
the
they?
target,
I want to know.
these
Did
shoots. And think of this, yeah.
I just want
Way
to
up
know.
in the sky, there was no moon, it was dead dark. You couldn't see a thing. You couldn't see them. But they had, I guess, a beam going right into these chutes. Every single one of those bombs went right down those chutes into a granite mountain. I think it's the last time they're going to build air chutes. They had these air chutes that were nice, beautiful. They were meant for us. But it was total obliteration. And now they give us credit for that. But these people were phenomenal. I tell you, for the Air Force people here, you can be very proud. That BTO, we just ordered a lot of new ones and updated ones, but I'd take the other ones. Let me tell you, they couldn't have worked any better. So they flew for 37 hours total, back and forth, no stops, no nothing. We had 52 tankers loading them up. And that's a job I wouldn't necessarily want too much, flying a tanker, loaded up with hundreds of thousands of gallons of fuel. I don't know if I'd do that job. I asked the question, what happens if it gets hit? Sir, you don't want to know about that.
And
right?
then when I
don't wanna
face
know
General
about that.
Palpatine.
But those guys, they just hear us. They're incredible. I had them all to the Oval Office.
When
had
did
the
we
B-2
when did we
pilots
bomb
and a lot of the
Iran?
people, even the people
When
that,
did we bomb Iran? I'm just trying
took
to
care
remember
of
the
them,
month.
the maintenance people, just as important. We had them all to the White House, gave them a big party on the lawn, brought some of them into the Oval Office. But on top of all this, we'll deliver a hard-earned pay raise of 3.8% to every soldier, sailor, airman, Coast Guardsman, Space Guardman, and Marine, something you weren't getting from the past administration. They did not do with respect. They're Democrats. They never do. Not only are we rebuilding our great strength, but for the first time in years, my administration is actually using that strength to defend the core and vital interests of America. And very simply, we are putting America first. And I have since I've been elected. I've always put America first. It's sort of simple, you know, when you think. My campaign was run on common sense, and we did great. We got the highest number.
Oh, glitch.
Districts, you know, they have it broken up, 2,500 versus 525. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote. We won everything. We won everything. You have to take a look at the map. It's almost entirely red, except there's a little blue line on each coast.
Because
I think that's going to disappear
the most
too.
populated counties
We did really
voted
great.
for
And part of it is
Kamala.
because of our success with the military, the rebuilding of the military, the vote that I got from the military.
Okay, let's just fact check in real time. No, the IAEA has not confirmed that Iran's nuclear program was obliterated. Following the strikes by U.S. and Israel in June 2025, the IAEA was expelled from some sites, and assessments indicate the program was disrupted but not eliminated. They confirmed that the strikes caused significant damage to multiple Iranian nuclear facilities. But while disrupted, the IAEA has not stated the program was obliterated. Instead, experts widely agree that Iran retained key infrastructure, technical expertise, and a resilient political will to rebuild. So he's lying. So I don't know if you voted for this clown, but he's lying to you. Lying. Because people are very careful about what they say and when they say it, unlike him.
And they were the vicious people, you know, that we have to fight. Just like you have to fight vicious people. Mine are different, a different kind of vicious. But they spread all these
aluminium
horrible,
processing
they made up
business.
statements and said what I said about everything, but even about the military. But fortunately, the military didn't believe it. It's hard. You know, they make up a statement and they said, you say it. We had 25 people that said he never said that. 25. We had 25 affidavits. And they said, well, we're going with it anyway. You know, these sleazebags. And that's why the press is really
sleazebags?
losing all power, because people aren't believing it. We need an honest press. We need borders. We need borders. We need an honest press. We need fair elections. I mean, those three things. And we don't have an honest press. We have a really corrupt press, but we fight through the corrupt press. And the people understand you have to do this stuff a lot. You have to go on television a lot because you can't get a fair shake if you're going to rely on somebody else.
Oh, that's why you're on so
They
much.
just they don't understand. They've destroyed.
You have to push your
the image of media
lies.
now is at the lowest point it's ever been.
Really? I don't think
It's
so.
lower than
I mean,
Congress.
I hate
Can
them, but
believe that?
whatever.
It's something. But together,
Probably 'cause
with
they don't
many
do
of you
enough.
in the room, we've brought back the fundamental principle.
I don't know.
that
Is this the
defending
Pentagon?
homeland
Is he at the Pentagon?
military's first and most important priority. That's
Yeah,
what
he
it
called
is.
them suckers and losers.
Only
I
in
just want you
recent
to know.
decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of
Quantico
Kenya
in
and
Virginia.
Somalia,
Okay.
while America is under invasion from within.
Isn't that
We're
the
under
FBI?
invasion
Wait
from
a
within.
minute. I'm so confused.
No different than
Isn't
a
Quantico the
foreign
FBI?
enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. We're stopping it very quickly. After spending trillions of dollars defending the borders of foreign countries, with your help, we're defending the borders of our country from now on. We're not going to let this happen. Biden let people come in from prisons, mental institutions, drug dealers, murderers. You know, we had 11,488 murderers.
Wait,
allowed
no,
into
it
our
was
country by
800 and
this guy who had
something.
no
Come on.
clue. He
Keep
had
your
no
numbers
clue.
straight.
He shouldn't have been there in the first place, but he had no clue. The people that ran the office, the White House, were people that surrounded him, radical left lunatics.
Really? I
That
didn't
are
think they
brilliant
were radical left enough. Thank you.
people, but
I didn't do it.
and they allowed people from all over the world, from the Congo. They opened up prisons in the Congo.
They did?
They
Did they
came
even
into
have
our
prisons in the Congo?
country totally unmatched,
was
unvetted,
pretty
unchecked.
nuts.
And from all over South America, not just South America. You know, you think South America, no, but from all over.
Yep,
A lot came in
exactly,
from
Max.
Venezuela. Venezuela
pivot.
emptied its prison population
Congo,
into our
drink.
country. That's why they have Tren de Aragua, one of the worst
Trinidad
gangs
Aragua,
ever.
drink.
But we took care of them. We took good, strong care
At least we can
of
all
them.
say it now.
I just want to thank the National Guard in Washington, D.C. It's embarrassing
National
to
Guard
say
there
this.
at
Now
this
I can
meeting?
say it because we solved it. But
No?
Washington, D.C. was the most unsafe, most dangerous city in the United States of America. And to a large extent,
The
beyond.
United
and
States
beyond
of
that.
America, was it?
Go to
Oh my God.
You go to Afghanistan, they didn't have anything like that. You go to countries that you would think there's problems, they didn't have that. And now Washington, D.C., after 12 days of serious
12 days.
serious
Haven't they been there
intensity,
for a minute?
we took out 1,700 career criminals.
What?
If you have 5 career criminals,
Wait,
that
what?
can make your numbers look very bad because of
What? 1,700 career criminals? Oh, I'm going to have to fact check that.
commit many crimes a day. But we took out
Many times a
1,700,
day.
and they took them out. There was no doubt who the boss was. They did an unbelievable job. Then they started even cleaning. I said, I don't want them doing that, sir. They were cleaning it up. I drove through it 2 days ago. It was beautiful. People are walking down the street holding hands, man and wife, coming from Iowa. They're not worried about being shot. Washington, D.C. is now a safe city. In fact, I went out to dinner with my crew. I have
Which he got attacked at. So is it safe? I don't know. As of early September 2025, the number of arrests in D.C. was approaching 1,700. More than 200 of these arrests occurred over one holiday weekend alone. These are arrests. These are arrests. Okay, so it's all the arrests. They're not career criminals. It's anybody. It's anybody who got arrested. Literally, it's anybody. He's lying again to you. He's lying again to you.
done that. In theory, I wouldn't do it. And I felt totally safe.
Jaywalking, yeah.
And nobody's been attacked. Nobody's been hurt. Washington, D.C.
No one's been
went
attacked
from our
or
most
hurt.
unsafe city to just
So now
about
you're
our
going to have to
safest
just
city
have
in a period of
soldiers
a month.
on every
We
corner
had
to
it
make
under
cities
control
safe.
in 12 days. but give us another 15, 16 days. It's perfect. And people other than politicians that look bad, they think, you know, the Democrats run most of the cities that are in bad shape. We have many cities in great shape, too, by the way. I want you to know that.
That's not true.
But it seems that the ones that are run by the radical left Democrats,
none of this is
what
true.
they've done to San Francisco, Chicago,
None of this is true.
New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out
Well,
one
that's
by
news
one.
to us.
And this is going to be a major
That's
part
news
for
to
some
me
of the
in Los
people in this
Angeles.
room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. Controlling the physical territory of our border is essential to national security. We can't let these
He
people
really
in.
is pivoting.
You know, we had no people enter in the last 4 months. Zero.
Really?
Even I can't believe that. You know, we had millions coming in, pouring in. 25
Millions.
million
No, we
all
didn't.
told. And
That's a
of those
lie.
25 million, many of them should never be in our country. They would take their worst
25
people
million?
and their people from
It was
prisons and jail.
11. It was 8, then it was 11, then it was 13, then it was 17, then it was 20, and now it's 21? 25, I mean? Wow. Those people really spawned. And by the way, when they count crossings, that's not unique individuals. That's the number of, that's also including multiple attempts by the same party. Okay? So there you go. Again, lying.
And they put them in a caravan and they'd walk up.
No, there's no caravans. You know who
CNN
did that?
was
Jason
interviewing
Miller.
one
I'm
person.
convinced.
Oh, why are you coming? I want freedom.
wrong.
Good. Were you in jail? Yes. For what? Murder.
Yeah, they say that.
You're in for, you
Isn't
had
that
to see
crazy?
this anchor, a young woman.
Isn't that
She's
crazy?
Like, I couldn't believe. She'll probably lose her job, but because the left doesn't want to hear that. But we're running it based on common sense and based on love of our country. But I want to salute every service member who has helped us carry out this critical mission. It's really a
thanks
very
for the
important
people who were
mission. And I told Pete,
redeployed.
we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military,
What?
National Guard, but military.
What?
Because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big
Well,
city.
you're already in
With an
Chicago,
incompetent
by the
governor.
way.
Stupid governor, stupid. They threw him out of his family business. He was so
No, they
stupid.
didn't.
I know the family.
No, they didn't. No,
he
they
becomes
didn't.
governor. He's got
No,
money.
they didn't.
Not money that he made,
No.
but he ran for governor, he won, and now
Oh,
he
he's so
criticizes
jealous
us all
of the
time.
Hyatt family.
Last
Oof,
week
the
they had
Hyatt, I mean the
11 people
Pritzker family
murdered,
for the Hyatt hotels.
44 people shot. The week before that, they had 5 people murdered, 28 people
Well,
shot. Every
know-
weekend, they lose 5, 6 of them.
The way that he holds numbers in his head is almost mind-boggling, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? He's like the Rain Man of presidents.
They lose 5. They're considering it a great week. They shouldn't lose any. You shouldn't lose any.
Any
This
what?
is civilization. And he's always up there saying, we're in very good shape. We don't need the military. No, they need the military
Pritzker, yeah.
desperately. How about
No, they
Portland?
Wait,
Portland,
Portland?
Oregon, where it looks like a war zone.
No, it
And
doesn't.
I get a call from the
I've
liberal
been watching
governor.
Portland. It's fine.
Sir, please don't come in. We don't need you. I said, well, unless they're playing false tapes, this looked like World War II.
It's not.
The place is
You're watching
burning
weird
down.
stuff.
I mean, you must be kidding. Sir, we have it under control. I said, you don't have it under control, Governor, but I'll check it, and I'll call you back. I called her back. I said, this place is a nightmare. Probably, it's certainly not the biggest, but it's
Captain
one of the
Queen.
worst. It's brutal. They go after our ICE people
they
who are
don't.
great patriots and tough job
they
too, but they
don't.
love it. They
A
love
bunch
it
of
because they're cleaning
chuds.
up our country. And so you
You're a
look at
bunch
some
of
of the
chuds that wanna
things where they took
be
over parts
important.
of Seattle. They actually took over
So
a
you
big
need
percentage of
a gun.
Seattle
Fuck
Think
these
of that. You
guys.
remember
Fuck,
that. That was
fuck ICE.
a while ago. And
I
I
know.
sent in the
420
troops
alert.
and they
Thank
were
you,
gone
Mr.
as soon as I
Spock.
sent them in. Oh, when we send in the troops, if you have a real leader that says you got to do what you have to do, I put that out the other day. You got to do what you got to do because we don't want our people hurt
what you
as they
gotta
stand by. I was watching during Biden, there were troops standing up like this, brave, standing up at attention, the way I should
Sticking their
stand all the
titties out.
time. And I'm like this, and people are standing, and their mouth is this far away from their mouth, and they're spitting at them, and they're screaming at them.
Well, okay,
And
we did
that
scream.
soldier standing there, he wants to knock the hell out of the person,
Well,
but he's
they
not
did.
allowed to do anything.
Stay the fuck out
So
of
they just
Seattle.
stand there and they get abused. And a woman was this far away from his face, and she starts spitting in his face.
I don't
and
think
he's not
so.
allowed
I
to
don't think
do
I've ever
anything.
seen that.
If it's okay with you, generals and admirals, I've taken that off. I say, they spit, we hit. Is that okay? I think so. They spit. It's a new thing. They spit, we hit. How about the cars where the cars are coming out? They get brand new cars, Border Patrol, ICE, beautiful, nice new cars. And they're driving along and they have to go through a gauntlet of rocks.
That's
being
not
thrown at the
true.
car.
None of that happened.
So here's this beautiful brand
None
new
of
car.
it
By the time
happened.
it goes 100 yards,
None of it.
it's destroyed.
None of it.
These guys have pretty good
None of
arms,
that happened.
some of them.
None
and
of
they're
that
throwing
happened.
bricks at full force into the window and
That's
into
not
the
true.
car.
That's
It
not
looks
true.
like it's a war zone.
None of it's true.
And I said, never let that
didn't
happen
happen.
again. From now on, if that ever happens, and I say it here, you get out of that car and you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Because those people are you know, you
What?
can die from that. Those bricks go through the windows.
What are
You
we
can die.
talking?
They'd like it to.
No
They'd
one
like
threw
it to go
bricks
through
at
the window.
windows.
But this was a couple of months
No
ago.
one.
They just kept driving.
No
the bricks
one.
are hitting the car. And I said, why aren't they stopping?
0 people
Because they were under orders from
have
the
been
past
there
administration.
on the front
Never
lines.
stop.
Not
But
happening.
that's different with us. We stop. And since I gave that order, we haven't had that problem. It's very interesting. It's amazing.
What?
It's just like in Venezuela.
Oh, did he stop
You've
the
seen
spitting
boats
in people's
going.
faces?
We can't find any more boats. They're carrying drugs. Massive. Every boat kills about 25,000 people. That's
What?
they have.
Every
They
boat
have
kills
fentanyl
100,000
mostly and a lot of
people?
other drugs.
I don't
And we
even know how
take
to
them out.
quantify that.
And we've taken out 4. So,
4?
and it's on air. Everybody gets to see it. Not that we're like
4? 4 boats taken out? 4? I thought it was 2. It's 4? How many boats have we actually shot out of the water, sir? I don't know when we get in the street. I don't know what gets people out of their comfort zone and into the street. But can it rush up, please? Can we fucking figure this out? Can we fucking figure it out? I'm trying, but my body is not allowing me to be out there as much as I want to be. But my God, I can't. I don't even know what's, yeah.
to do that. But every boat
Okay.
kills 25,000 on average. 20. Some people say more. You know, you see these boats, they're stacked up with bags of white powder. It's mostly fentanyl and other drugs too. And now we have a problem. General Kane says, sir, there are no boats out there. Not even fishing boats. They don't want to go fishing. I don't blame
because
them.
you'll blow them
There'll
up.
be no fishing today, you know. But it's amazing what strength will do, because all we want to do is stop drugs from flowing into our country. It's destroying. We lost 300,000 people died last year. Everybody knows friends, many
No.
friends probably, that you lost a child.
No, you
Or
didn't.
adults too. But you lost a son or daughter because of what's coming into our border. And we're making it very hard. Oh, and we haven't even started yet. Last month I signed an executive order to provide training for a quick reaction force that can help quell civil disturbances. And this is going to be a big thing for the people in this room, because it's the enemy from within.
80,391 people
And we have to
died from an
handle it before it
overdose,
gets
according
out
to
of
the
control. It won't
CDC
get out
in
of control.
2024,
Once you're involved at all,
which is too many.
they all joke. They say, oh, this is not good. You saw it in Washington. We had gangs of Tren de Aragua with 10, 12, 15 kids. And these military guys walk up to them, and they treat them with disrespect, and they just got pounded. They just got pounded. The gang just pounded. Then thrown into paddy wagons and taken back
The
to their
gang?
country.
What gang? Cocaine prices
Some
down
are so
15%.
dangerous we don't want to even do that, because we don't want to. Some of stone cold murders, we don't have the confidence. Even though they're not coming back very easily, we don't have the confidence. We put them in jails.
Okay.
But these service members are following in a great
let me check.
and storied military tradition, from protecting frontier communities to chasing outlaws and bandits in the Wild West. And our history is filled with military heroes who took on all enemies, foreign and domestic. You know that phrase very well. That's what the oath says, foreign and domestic. Well, we also have domestic. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Grover Cleveland, George Bush, and others all use the armed forces to keep domestic order.
They don't have
and
a
peace.
formal number, but they
Many
estimate
of our leaders use
178,000
the
deaths
military
per
to
year
keep
from
peace.
excessive
Now they like to
alcohol
say, "Oh,
use
you're
and
not
more than
allowed to use the
13,000 in
military." And you know
alcohol-related
what the people
crashes in a
say?
single
The people
year.
in those cities where they're being raped and shot and
Oh,
beat up.
global reports.
You know what
The
they
global.
say? We love the military. You ever
Cite
see where they
2.6
interview
million
the
deaths
people on the street?
annually attributed to
I've never
alcohol
seen somebody
consumption.
say they don't, unless they're radical and paid off, because a lot of these insurrectionists are paid by, whether it's Soros or
A
other
lot.
people, but they're paid by the radical left.
A
So today I
Soros.
want to thank every service member from general to private who has bravely helped us secure the nation's capital and make America safe for the American people. It's amazing. The whole world is watching. Everybody in the
Yeah,
White House
they
has come
are.
up to me, young women, sir, thank you. I know immediately what they're thinking. They don't have to say it. They walk to work now to the White House. We haven't had a crime in
I
Washington.
used to
in
walk
so
to work
long.
when I lived in
Because
Washington,
we got the
D.C.
careers. We call them the careers.
I felt
We
fine.
got these lunatics out, and they'll never be any good. You know, I hate to tell this to the liberal media. You could spend time with them. You could do whatever you want. You could send them to the finer schools, which they couldn't get into anyway, mentally. They couldn't get in, but no matter what you do, they'll never be good. They're bad. They're career criminals. I don't know. Maybe they were born that way.
Who are we
Some
talking
people
about?
don't like me to say that, but maybe they were. Certainly some were. Together with the leaders here today, we're also restoring a needed focus on defeating threats in the Western Hemisphere throughout this region. Cartel terrorists have been allowed to wage a relentless campaign of death and destruction on our country, all because we had weak leadership on top. And we did a great job with it first term, but this is something else what we're doing now. We're taking it to the next level, probably next level times 3.
What does that mean?
But we had COVID come up, and we had to take care of that. We
What does
did a
that
great
even
job
mean?
with COVID. We had the
Yeah, it is. Grace
therapeutics.
Lisa.
It's just Regeneron. So many things we did for COVID, but we had to focus on that, and every other country in the world was being
What?
decimated by COVID. So we had to change gear a little bit to take care of that.
What?
But under our leadership, the military is now the knife's edge.
Oh, he
in
does have
combating
written
the
comments.
sinister enemy. We have to put the traffickers and cartels on notice, and we've done that. And we put them, a lot of them, we've called them a terrorist organization, which is actually a big thing to do. Nobody's done it, but I've done it with a lot of
Nobody's
them.
done it.
It gives you a tremendous advantage. If you try to poison our people, we will blow you out of existence, because that's the only language they really understand. That's why you don't see any more boats on the ocean. You don't see any boats. Around Venezuela, there's nothing.
Rambling on wasting general's time.
As
Yeah,
president,
exactly.
I will never hesitate
Yeah,
to
what is
defend
this
our
hiding?
people
Very
from
good,
threats
Grandma. What is this hiding?
of violence, from the horrible plague that's taking place from within. The Iran nuclear power, the Iran, all
Whoa.
of the great power
How do we get to Iran?
that we thought existed, we blew it out to kingdom. We took advantage of it, and we just really took advantage of it, and it was a beautiful thing
What?
to see, and that's what military power can achieve.
What?
That's why
You can
I
kill people?
chose Raising Cane. He's fantastic, by the way.
I
hope
want
you
Raising
all agree.
Cane
If
to be the
anybody
one who
disagrees,
actually
could I
takes
please
this
have your hand?
dipshit out of
Who
power.
disappears that Raising Cane is no good? Just raise your hand. I don't see any hands raised. All
What a
right.
fucking
That
idiot.
means you're okay. That means that he's okay now, but I saw his results. You know, he took out ISIS. I was told it was going to take 4 years. It
Oh
took
my
4
God.
weeks. I went to see him.
I killed
and he took
7
him out
giants
4
in
weeks,
one swoop.
Knocked him out, knocked him to hell. And I was told by military people it was going to take 4 to 5 years to do
Oh
it.
my God.
And I don't even know if we'll have it then, sir. These were the Washington generals. I call them the television generals.
Oh.
But Raising Cane did it in 4 weeks, took out 100% of the ISIS caliphate. As a result of these actions and many
why
others
are they
since
back,
my
sir?
inauguration.
Sir?
We're witnessing the triumphant
Sir?
return of peace through
Question?
strength. We have great peace through strength. America is respected again as a country. We were not respected with Biden. They looked at him falling downstairs every day. Every day the guy's falling
Every
downstairs.
day.
Said, it's not our president. We can't have it.
Who said that?
I'm very careful, you know, when I walk downstairs for,
Oh, God.
like I'm on stairs, like these stairs, I walk very slowly. Nobody has to set a record. Just try not to fall.
Really?
It doesn't
So
work out well.
you're focused on trying not
A few
to
of
fall
our
every day.
presidents
Is
have
that what you're
fallen,
telling
and
us?
it became a part of their legacy. We don't want that. You walk nice and easy. You don't have to set any record.
A
Be
healthy
cool.
president would walk
Be
however
cool when
the
you
fuck
walk down,
fast he
but don't.
wants to.
Don't bop down the stairs.
Yeah,
so one
he
thing
would
with
bop down the
Obama,
stairs. A
I had
strong
zero
president would
respect
bop
for
down
him
the
as a
stairs.
president, but he would bop down those stairs. I've never said, da-da-da-da-da-da, bop, bop, bop. He'd go down the stairs, wouldn't hold on. I said,
Is this
great. I
Obama
don't want
he's
to do it. I
talking
guess
about?
I could do it. But eventually, bad things are going to happen. And it only takes once. But he did a lousy job as president.
But
A
he
year
bopped
ago,
down the
we were
stairs.
A dead country. We were dead.
I'm
This country
bopping
was
down
going
the
to hell.
stairs.
We were dead
You
in
were
every
dead?
way, from immigration to military.
That's his
We
Obama
didn't have
impression. That's pretty good,
weapons. We're
actually.
given
'Cause he is
everything
kind of
to-
jaunty.
We were given everything to
Let's
Ukraine.
talk about
We
how
had
umbrellas work,
nothing.
Josh.
And by the way, I have to tell you, now,
funny.
as you know, I went over and I met with NATO, and NATO raised from 2 to 5,
they
which
love you.
everyone said 5% of
Mark
GDP.
Rutte
Millions
loves
and
you.
now trillions of dollars are pouring in. They didn't pay
Oh,
the
yeah,
2%
I need
because
to
they know
check
we
that.
were there to pay it. And now they paid the 5%. That's trillions of dollars. And we're not spending any money on that war, not 10 cents. We sell our equipment to NATO. NATO pays us for the equipment, and they give it to Ukraine or whoever they give it to. They can keep it, but we're not involved. We have no money going out.
But how did you,
Biden
why
gave
were you
$350
approving the
billion.
transfer of
It's not
arms then?
sustainable.
Wait a minute. I have a
$350
question because
billion.
that came up last week.
And we have a war that should have never started, but we're not doing that anymore. So I just want you to know we're selling equipment. Our people are buying equipment. They are buying the equipment at full price, a fair price. So I don't want to say we're making money because I don't want to be making money on a war. It's too many people dying. They're losing 7,000 soldiers a week. A lot of them are Russian soldiers, but between the two countries, mostly soldiers, by the way. Sometimes, in Kiev, they'll lob a missile in or some drones in, kill some people. But mostly it's soldiers. Russia and Ukraine are losing 7,000 souls. And, they're not American. They're not us. They're not you. We have a special obligation. But they're soldiers. They're young people. They leave their parents. They wave goodbye. And then 2 days later, they're blown up so unnecessarily. And so that's the primary reason I want to get it done. We got to get it done. It's crazy what's going on. That's the worst war that there's been since World War II. The number of soldiers that are being killed there is just crazy. From 5,000 to 7,000 soldiers die a week. Think of that. So I think we'll get that done. But that's turned out to be the toughest one. I'm so disappointed in President Putin. I thought he would get this thing over with. He should have had that war done in a week. And I said to him, you don't look good. You're 4 years fighting a war that should have taken a week. Are you a paper tiger?
Ooh.
And it's a shame, but I think eventually we'll get that one done, just like in theory, I want to knock on wood, because you never know. It's like we're going to have the Middle East done, which is actually a much harder thing to do.
Middle East done.
Thousands of years.
Jesus.
But we have to get that war done. So now just think of it, we're a dead country. I was with the King of Saudi Arabia, a great guy. I was with the Emir of Qatar. I was with the great leadership of UAE. I was over there. We brought back $2 trillion and more. They ordered 200 planes, Boeings. They ordered so much, and they were great.
So
but
I have a question.
they all said
Why
essentially
Boeing?
the same thing.
With
They
all
said,
of Boeing's
1 year ago,
troubles,
you
why
were a
is
dead
Boeing
country,
getting all these contracts?
and now you're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the hottest country in the world
Why?
right now. The absolute hottest
they
country
are.
in the world. There's nobody even
the
close.
flipper's slipping.
Putin said that to me. We met in Alaska.
But he doesn't have his bottom flipper on today.
Then he went back and started sending
Nice
drones
dream.
into Kiev. I thought we had a good meeting. But it's one of those things. But
One of those things.
we were a dead country a year ago, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. Think of that.
Well, we're definitely. Whoa.
Good meeting. But it's one of
I can
those
do that.
things. But we were a dead country a year ago, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. Think
Well,
of that. You
we're
can be
certainly
proud
being
of that.
talked about.
And you must have felt like hell when you have a wife or a husband at home, and you used to read the numbers that we can't get people to join the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. You must have felt like, I have a job that nobody wants. That doesn't feel good.
Okay, I'm just going to stop him because I want to talk about the economics for a second. So what we've brought in for tariff revenue, which is higher than it has been in other years. So, I mean, well, when you put tariffs on everything, of course your revenue is going to go up. That's kind of normal. Anyway, but we've brought in 2025 about 180 billion in tariff revenue. And when you net it of excise tax, it's about 165 billion. Let me say that again. We've brought in, according to the Bipartisan Policy Center, which tracks this shit, we brought in 180 billion in tariff revenue, just so you know, in 2025, and it is more than you usually bring in. So it's more from the U.S. people. Yeah. Well, these are So anyway, just saying. I don't know. I'll link it in the description, but I just yeah.
Well, now you have a job that is brimming over with people
I-
wanting it. They want it. And you're
They
able
want
to get
it.
a much higher quality because now you have your choice.
Why?
You want
Because
so
you're going to
many.
do a bunch of wars.
And we're going to have many, many people that aren't going to be
I
able to
wouldn't.
join
I
because
wouldn't
of the
join.
fact that we don't, we
Higher
don't
chance
need
of going to
them at
war
this
now than
moment.
there's ever been.
But think of it, what a difference that is from.
For a minute.
I could just imagine 2 years
Oh
ago.
my God, I'm talking like him.
You're reading front page articles in the New York Times, of course, and Wall Street Journal. They always give us unfair stories.
Yeah, fuck the
But
Wall
they
Street
played
Journal.
it so big. They were playing it so big. Nobody wants
Fuck
to
those
join the Army,
Republicans.
the Marines, the Air Force.
Who said that?
They don't want to join.
I've never
They
read
don't want to
that
join
from
the
them.
Coast Guard at all.
I've never read that from them.
Nobody wants to
Ever.
join. Nobody wants to join
Not
our
true.
police forces. Our police
not
forces
true.
also. It's almost went hand in hand.
It's not true.
And I used to say, boy, I'm speaking in front of the military today, and it's embarrassing because I'm speaking in front of people who have a job that other people don't want, but now
What?
you have a job that everybody wants. So I think that has to make you feel good.
What?
It's one of the reasons I love being here today because I wanted to say that. I have to say that.
Yeah, you invited yourself,
Everybody
by the way.
wants to be in the Army.
Why
the
didn't
Navy,
they?
the Air
Why didn't
Force,
they
the
invite
Marines.
him first?
If you think
You
the
know,
Coast
you ever
Guard
think about
and
that?
Space Force, our beautiful
Space Force, don't forget.
It's a whole different world, and now they're signing up. By the
Is
way,
that two separate
seriously big
links,
numbers
Gal,
for
or
the
is that just
police.
one?
Dangerous job, isn't it? Huh?
I
Fire
wish they
department.
would, Jim, but they can't.
But that's the paving the way for progress once thought almost impossible. I mean, a year ago, you wouldn't have thought that was possible. A year ago,
That's good.
they were talking about making the military smaller because they can't get the people to join. We're thinking about making it larger because we have so many people. And it's nice to
Okay, I got it.
be able to cut people because of merit that aren't really qualified for
Yep, got it. I
any
like
reason.
it.
A
I've got it
physical
teed
reason,
up.
a mental reason. You don't have to take them anymore because you have the pick of the litter. And they all want to be with you. They all want your
Yeah.
job. They want to be with you. They want to work with you. They'll even take your job, Got to be a little bit sharp. You got to watch it. But everybody wants to be doing what you're doing now. What a difference when I
I
speak
don't.
to you.
I
and
personally
I
don't.
can say that as opposed to a couple of years ago when I was talking to rooms where they were desperate to get people and they couldn't get them. What a difference a presidential election can make. That's all it is. It's just a presidential election. Yesterday at the White House, we put forward a plan for peace in Gaza. We
Extra
announced
large
it, and we're going to create something that was my idea, but unfortunately I got drafted.
I don't know, Grace
It's going to
Lisa.
be called the Board of Peace, and it's going to reign over that
I suppose
territory.
this.
And we're going to get that done. And they asked if I'd be the chairman of the Board of Peace. I wasn't counting on that. I had the idea for the Board of Peace. But I said yes, and I guess because of that, every leader, everybody wants to be on the Board of Peace. And we're going to watch over that very volatile part of the world and keep it non-volatile.
Now we're
so
talking about
you don't
Gaza.
have to get involved. We want to save you for other things or save you for nothing from that standpoint. We don't want you fighting wars, but if you have to, you're the most lethal fighting force in the world. And I would say that even 2-3 years ago.
No.
But now I say it with great enthusiasm. It's so true. And we're striving
Skynet.
tirelessly to end the terrible war in Ukraine. And as you know, we're also working hard to get the allies to share more of the burden of our defense.
I think everybody's
Much of that
doing what
has
they
really
can, so shut the fuck up.
already taken place. But all NATO members have committed to the increase
He
that I
looks very
talked about.
pale
Think of
today.
that. That was unthinkable. It used to be 1%, then we got it up to 2% in my last term. And they did not like it. And now I got it to 5%, and I get along great with all of them. In fact, they call me the president of NATO. I said, I don't think so. But
What?
they're great. They're great people. And
Who
they're spending
calls
a
you
lot
that?
They're spending a lot of money.
Dan
And a lot of money
Scavino?
that they should have been spending in the past. But I think Putin was a wake-up call for them, really. We're now selling
What?
large quantities of American-made weapons to NATO, and we're getting really fair pricing. We're making a lot of money. It's my
What are we
hope that
doing?
from Europe to Asia to the Middle
Oh,
East,
yeah, I wanted to look at the
our
debt. I
allies
wanted to
will
look at
make
the national
similar
debt.
commitments to increase their military capabilities. And this will greatly strengthen our alliances, and also it will make war far less likely. You know, if you're a strong presence like we are such a strong presence.
We are such a strong presence.
And I go around bragging about that. I said, we have the strongest military anywhere in the world.
You're
I
so
say it. You never heard
strong.
Biden say that. You never heard him
Oh,
say
yeah,
anything.
But I want to say the deficit.
But you never heard him say, did you ever hear him say, we have the strongest military? He doesn't say that. I say
You know
it.
what's funny is
We have the strongest
our deficit
military
is
anywhere in the
going up.
world. We have great leadership. And I'll tell you, Pete and General Kane, and all of the people that I've met that have been lifted up in rank. And we got many of them out of here, too. I'll be honest with you.
Gosh,
Didn't
our
like
debt
doing it,
keeps
but we got
going
many
up.
of you out of here.
3.7
We
trillion.
weren't satisfied. We know everything about everybody. It'll also help the United States rapidly rebuild our defense industrial base. Each of you can play an important part in getting allies to do their part. So to that end, Secretary Hegseth will soon be announcing major reforms to streamline military acquisitions and expedite foreign military sales. We have tremendous numbers of countries that want to buy our equipment, and you know, in many cases it takes too long. They're backlogged. We're backlogged on all the equipment, which is something that's new to us a little bit. And I told those companies, you better get your ass going, because we're selling you a lot of equipment. We're getting countries to buy your equipment. You got to produce the equipment. Some of the countries I'm not going to mention, but
Well,
some of
sir,
the countries
it'd
are
be because of the
buying
steel
a
tariffs.
lot. And that's a good thing. They're on our side.
All right, here's the
95%.
government debt
I'll never say 100%,
from
'cause it
September
can
of
always turn,
2024.
right? You know about that.
This is the
But
debt.
they're on our side.
I'm Yelling
Problem
Star.
is we have to get the companies that
Good
make this
morning.
equipment. And we make the best equipment in the world, but they got to make
Here's
it
our
faster.
U.S. debt.
We have orders for the F-35.
September.
We have orders for everything. The new F-47.
This is August.
We have orders for everything. You got to make it faster.
This is the
Lot
this is
faster.
the beginning of
Ammunition
the
they have
Trump
to make
administration.
In the coming months, we'll be making even more historic announcements to fully embrace the
Whoop.
identity
Whoop.
of the Department
That's
of
our
War.
debt.
I love
That's
the
our
name.
debt.
I think it's so great. I think it stops wars.
That's our debt.
The Department of War is going to stop wars.
That's our debt.
If we are as ruthless and relentless as our enemies, the United States Armed Forces.
I let
will be
myself sleep in extra late today.
totally
Actually had really good
unmatched in the
dreams last
future.
night.
We have
Finally,
a
yes.
group of
I'll take
enemies
that
that
as
are
a
very
win.
ruthless
Let's do it.
and very smart.
Old enough to recall
But
government.
they can't match us.
gee,
They can't match us. They don't even come close to matching us. Again,
bullet
you know, it's very
shortage. I
important
think I
for me to say
remember
we have the
that.
greatest military in the world, but we make the best equipment in the world.
180 billion. Let's not
I
get
watched
crazy.
our anti-missile missiles. I watched our
He said he got $1 trillion
Patriots
in tariffs.
just knock
yes,
things
do
out
that
like a
more.
needle.
Yes.
Hitting another needle on the stage.
Yes.
There's a needle up there, and you send another needle up, and it hits
What
it
the fuck?
every time.
What are we doing?
During the war, we went 14
What are
for
we-
14. We had
what are
14
needles?
This
What
is
are we
where
talking about
we had
needles for?
14 missiles coming at us.
What?
All 14 were knocked out of the sky, every one of them.
7 giants with one
We make
swoop.
the best equipment. From Sparta to Rome, to the British
Whoa.
Empire, to the United States of
the
America, history
halls
has shown
of
that
fun.
military supremacy has never been simply a matter of money or manpower. At the end of the day, it is the culture, spirit of our military that truly sets us apart from any other nation. Our ultimate strength will
Thought we didn't
always
want
come
culture.
from the fierce people, and those brilliant people with such pride and the unbending will and
Oh, yeah,
the
here
traditions
we
of
go.
excellence
I'm
that have
coming to
made
the
us
end, folks, he
the most
says.
unstoppable force ever to walk
Poor pigs.
the face of the earth. And that's what we are. Remember, we never want to use it, but we have the most powerful nuclear capability, and I call it nuclear deterrent of any other country.
We
Nobody
started with
close.
nukes and we're ending
The
with
men
nukes.
and women in this room inherit
is
the legacy
boring,
built
Jane.
and won by Washington and Jackson, Grant and Pershing, Eisenhower and Patton, Nimitz and LeMay. We carry forward the majestic military heritage passed down from father to son, soldier to soldier.
Who's we?
And one generation of warriors
Who's we, Bone
to the
Spur?
next. You are warriors, you know that, right?
No.
You're great warriors.
Oh, stop.
Or you wouldn't be in this room.
I
You're
don't
the
think they
best
think
the
of
best.
themselves like that, actually.
From
but I could be
Concord
wrong.
Bridge to Fort McHenry, from Gettysburg to Manila Bay, from Normandy to Sicily, and from the jungles of Vietnam to the dusty streets
Yeah,
of
peace
Baghdad.
president. I know. What a-
America's
yes.
military has charged into
Terrible
hellfire,
person.
climbed up jagged mountains, crossed roaring oceans, and thundered across open deserts to defend our flag, our freedom,
Open
and our
deserts,
homeland. Nobody does it like you. Now we are discovering American muscle, reasserting American might, and beginning the next story chapter.
I know. They
in
write in good
American
cadences. He can't
military
resist destroying.
legends and lore.
It's true.
That's Lore. That is lore.
Lore.
When it comes to defending our way of life,
Oh,
nothing will
he doesn't
slow
know how to
us.
say it, so he had to
No
like
enemy will stop us. They
focus on
cannot
it.
stop us.
Oh my God.
And no adversary will stand in our way. They won't stand in our way. We don't want them to stand in our way.
Yeah, listen to this.
We don't want to
closer.
even put them in that position, but they're not going to stand in our way ever again.
Ever.
You'll never see 4 years like we had with
I know.
Biden and
God,
a
I
group
hope
of
we do.
incompetent
actually.
people that ran this country that should have never been there.
Oh,
Because we
war.
are the
I
United
see.
States military, the best, the
Yeah,
boldest, the
okay.
bravest that the world has ever seen, that the world has
Yeah,
ever
Josh,
known.
you're right.
With leaders like we have right here in this beautiful room today, we
Beautiful,
will
but not
vanquish
gold
every
enough
danger
room.
and crush every threat to our freedom in every generation
Needs
to
more
come.
gold.
Because we will fight,
that a high
fight,
school
fight,
auditorium?
and we will win, win, win. I want to just thank you once again, and God bless the United States
right,
military, and God bless America. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
They have to stand, I think. Yeah, this is the general's thing. Scooby Dooby Dooby. It looks like a high school gym, I'm sorry. Or theater. Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, Scooby. Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo. Yeah, too late. Ah! Okay. Wow, that was like not very much. So I must, yeah, turn up the music to cover the weak clapping. Well, I think they're doing the polite clap, right? Yeah, Monty Python. That's right, Monty Python Sousa. Wow, that was terrible. That was terrible. But here come the helicopters. Hi, Karen. Yeah, that was painful. That was really painful. Not very much public. Yeah. Well, anyway. So, yeah, I'm assuming that they have lots of very important high-level behind closed doors meetings. Are we being invaded here in Los Angeles? Is that what it is? It's over. But it's over. Yeah. This event has concluded. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say that hasn't already been said, but it's pretty ridiculous that these folks have had to travel all this way when they actually do have jobs that they do, and for them to have to put up with this bullshit, frankly. So that's disappointing. That's very disappointing, but it does happen. All right, so let me go over a couple of. Oops. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on now, you. Oh, come on. But okay, everybody, what are we doing? Are we invading? Are we being invaded? We probably are. Okay. All right, here we go. These are a couple of some thoughts from Gal, who, when it comes to matters military, I look to Gal because she is part of an active military family and understands, all the different dynamics. So one of the best voices that I can listen to during a time like this, and has helped me gain some better understanding about, how to interact with National Guard and other things. So I appreciate the positioning and the kind of the insight into what might be happening for people who are part of the active military right now during what must be a really difficult time. Yeah. Oh, fiscal. Really, am aware of a banking executive whose speechwriters write the phonetic pronunciation of fiscal every time the word appears. Wow, that's scary. Can they change the nuclear codes? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think you have to have that in your repertoire. Okay, let's read about what Gal is saying. They do that on Signal Chat, right? In defense of the military forced to sit there while tyrannical clowns put on a middle school play, it is a middle school auditorium. These men and women have too many priorities and people to manage daily that they don't have the same opportunity to consume news and info like many of us. Most of these military leaders are finding out in real time just how insane their current commander-in-chief is. I anticipate the aftermath of this embarrassing production of the unconstitutional warrior ethos will be something to watch. We must support and encourage our men and women subjected to this attempt to corrupt their service, to turn them inward against the very people they have signed up to defend. They may not stand up in that room and decry this unconstitutional shit show, but I'm confident they'll be thoughtful in their reaction. Their problem is that the men and women in the room have risen to their roles as leaders over the most powerful military in the world by experience, integrity, and most importantly, for this moment, continued education. In other words, they understand history, strategy, and know what they're looking at. So actually, it's good for them to see this firsthand and hear the insanity of their of their commander in chief. And I can imagine, I think, I don't know if everyone has, but I've worked for people where I discovered and learned more about them, and was disappointed, right, in what I learned. And so I understand what it's like to be someone who has to kind of sit there and really assess and be thoughtful about what the response is. And I didn't have the same requirements as they do in the military, which is, you can be charged with court martial or insubordination or other things. So that's what's really, like a struggle, I can imagine. Here's what he said before the speech. When we don't think that there are warriors, you know what happens? We say, "You are fired, get out." I tend to think so, but I also have a lot of faith in the military. Maybe it's, no, I don't think, I think you know better than anyone, like what is on the minds of active military, at least for a portion of the active military, right? So I think that makes sense. That you're really beholden to not. You cannot say anything in that moment. Like, your response has to be thoughtful and measured, and is dangerous to your livelihood or whatever. I mean, there's a lot riding on it, and sometimes jail. So that I can understand. And I think I have faith actually that this military in the moment will do the thing that is necessary. You know, the no beards is an anti-African American rule. That's right, Grace Lisa. And I think they did like a stay on that. I think I heard that. I have to check the most recent news, but their goal is to protect their troops, and many will want to maintain control over them versus being fired and someone. Yes, exactly. And actually, that's what I wish. It would be easier for people in government to do, right? I know that could have been an email. It probably was an email too, actually. It probably was. Yeah, so I could see that where people are like, okay, and the fact that they don't consume as much in terms of just traditional or more detail, more all the analytical news given what their responsibilities are. So, I don't know. It's an interesting time. Oh man. I just hope I hope we make it out. I hope we make it through to the other side. I really fucking do. Let me just see. Is there anything else going on today? I have stuff to read to people, so don't go anywhere. I'm not done yet by any stretch. But I just wanted to make sure. I know that he's doing something else. Is there a press conference or something? Yeah, is there a press conference or something? What, I thought there was a press conference. Do 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 do. I thought there was a press conference or something. Addresses top military. The Senate. Okay. Oops. Wait, what? Wait, we're doing a Senate hearing right now? There's a Senate hearing?
Or the Marines or any federal agents.
I thought this was tomorrow. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Senate Judiciary hearing on Trump's crime fighting by the military, or crime fighting efforts, I should say, not just the military. Anything going on in Congress today? Yeah, Senate is meeting about the continuing resolution, I think. I have the floor of the Senate is pulled up, but it's Chuck Schumer, so I was thinking I didn't really want to even play him. Matt Taibbi. Oh my God. What now? What is happening here? Is this? No, this is not it. Is that real? Was that old? Hold on. Hold on, everybody. I got to figure out what's going on here. Hold on. We got some competing idiocy. Let's see. Senate gavels in. Okay, yeah, the Senate is gavelled in. Hold on. Da, 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 da. I don't know if that's real. That could have been like past. Do 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 do. Yeah, the Senate floor is active, but they're not like taking a vote on anything right at this moment. Oh yeah, there's an Oval Office. That's what it is. Okay, that I need to have that open. Okay, hold on. There's too much going on right now. I'm sorry. There was nothing going on a minute ago, and now there's too much. Hold on. One more thing. I just want to see if we have that. I know it's going to be one of those mornings where you have a lot of Trump on your screen and you go, why am I doing this? And then we're just going to have to get over it. Hegseth said something about, whoa, wait a minute. Wait, what? I guess I didn't hear Hegseth's part. Did he call people fat? What happened? Okay, we're going to have to go back to that. I can't even. All right. Da 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 da. The most insane speech ever. Yeah. Elizabeth McLaughlin. Funny. La la la. Okay, well. Senate gavels. So that must not be real. Matt Taibbi must have been on the thing. Yeah, I missed Hegseth's part, but apparently it had something about fat people and beardos. I don't know what beardos means, but I think it's like bearded weirdos. I don't really know. Because I think those are chuds. I'm pretty sure. A reminder of what real military leaders sound like. Let's see. Do 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 do. Oh, I love Millie. I'm sorry. I do. I know. I have this real big crush on General Millie. I know. I don't know why. I just do. I don't know why.
Public. We are unique among the world's armies. We are unique among the world's militaries. We don't take an oath to a country. We don't take an oath to a tribe. We don't take an oath to a religion. We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we take an oath to the idea that is America, and we're willing to die to protect it. Those values and ideas are contained within the Constitution of the United States of America, which is the moral North Star for all of us who have the privilege of wearing the cloth of our nation. It is that document that all of us in uniform swear to protect and defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It's about our republic. We are unique among the world's armies.
You're just like
we are unique among the world's militaries. We don't take an oath to a country. We don't take an oath to a tribe. We don't take an oath to a religion.
I'm sorry, I just keep playing it over and over again. Anyway, yes, that is what a real military leader sounds like. You know, we didn't play the Pegseth part. I'm kind of tempted to do it, but now I'm like scared. I'm a little scared to do it. It was about hygiene standards. The beardos is referring to people who had shaving exceptions due to... Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I hate these people. I just really hate these people. I can't tell you how much I hate these people. Okay, wait a minute. So here, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to torture you, and I really apologize. I understand if you're like, I can't do this, but I really just need to.
Please take your seats.
I might speed him up.
Well, Mr. Chairman, the Joint Chiefs, generals, admirals, commanders, officers, senior enlisted, NCOs, enlisted, and every member of our American military. Good morning.
That's their leader?
Good morning, and welcome to the War Department. Because the era of the Department of Defense is over. You see, the motto of my first platoon was those who long for peace must prepare for war. This is, of course, not a new idea. This crowd knows that. The origin dates to the 4th century Rome and has been repeated ever since, including by our first commander-in-chief, George Washington, the first leader of the War Department. It captures a simple yet profound truth. To ensure peace, we must prepare for war. From this moment forward, the only mission of the newly restored Department of War is this: warfighting. Preparing for war and preparing to win. Okay, unrelenting and uncompromising in that pursuit.
Don't get it.
Not because we want war. Yeah. No one here wants war. But it's because we love peace. We love peace for our fellow citizens. They deserve peace, and they rightfully expect us to deliver.
Although I do have him at 1.25 speed.
Our number one job, of course, is to be strong so that we can prevent war in the first place. The president talks about it all the time. It's called peace through strength.
Oh, yeah.
And as history teaches us, the only people who actually deserve peace are those who are willing to wage war to defend it. That's why pacifism is so naive and dangerous. It ignores human nature and it ignores human history.
What?
Either you protect your people and your sovereignty, or you will be subservient.
This is what I keep thinking about. Rome was a failed state.
It's a truth as old as time.
This is what I keep thinking about.
And since waging war is so costly in blood and treasure, we owe our republic a military that will win any war we choose, or any war that is thrust upon us. Should our enemies choose foolishly to challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department.
Is this his point?
In other words,
his point was this
to our enemies,
he could have given this speech and not brought everybody there.
F-O. If necessary, our troops can translate that for you. Another way to put it is peace through strength, brought to you by the warrior ethos. And we are restoring both.
Is that a cereal?
As President Trump has said, and he's right, we have the strongest, most powerful, most lethal, and most prepared military on the planet. That is true, full stop. Nobody can touch us. It's not even close.
Don't even try.
This is true largely because of the historic investments that he made in his first term, and we will continue in this term.
Don't touch me.
But it's also true because of the leaders in this room.
USO audition.
And the incredible troops that you all lead.
Is the enemy.
But the world, and as the chairman mentioned, our enemies get a vote. You feel it,
yeah,
I feel it. This is a moment of urgency, mounting urgency.
This guy's a drunk.
Enemies gather,
He's a drunk
threats
TV
grow.
presenter.
There is no time for games.
Ethos.
We must be prepared. If we're going to prevent and avoid war, we must prepare now. We are the strength part of peace through strength. And either we're ready to win or we are not. You see, this urgent moment, of course, requires more troops, more munitions, more drones, more Patriots, more submarines, more B-21 bombers. It requires more innovation, more AI in everything and ahead of the curve, more cyber effects, more counter-UAS, more space, more speed. America is the strongest, but we need to get stronger and quickly. The time is now.
I thought we were the strongest.
And the cause is urgent. The moment requires restoring and refocusing our defense industrial base, our shipbuilding industry, and onshoring all critical components. It requires, as President Trump has done, getting our allies and partners to step up.
See, this is why I
and
played
share
this.
the burden.
So you guys had
America cannot do everything.
For your brilliance.
The free world requires allies with real hard power, real military leadership, and real military capabilities. The War Department is tackling and prioritizing all of these things. And I'll be giving a speech next month that'll showcase the speed, innovation, and generational acquisition reforms we are undertaking urgently. Likewise, the nature of the threats we face in our hemisphere and in deterring China is another speech for another day.
I'm sorry.
Coming soon.
Stop.
This speech today.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello, my... What?
This speech today is about people.
Ooh, it's a little coffee and Grand Marnier kind of morning. Fire it up. Mama, hand over the Grand Marnier. Grandpa's feeling frisky.
And it's about culture.
Captain
the topic today is about the nature of ourselves. Because no plan, no program, no reform, no formation will ultimately succeed unless we have the right people and the right culture at the War Department. If I've learned one core lesson in my 8 months in this job, it's that personnel is policy. Personnel is policy. The best way to take care of troops is to give them good leaders committed to the warfighting culture of the department. Not perfect leaders. Good leaders.
Wait, I thought you had
competent,
to have perfect.
Qualified, professional, agile, aggressive, innovative, risk-taking, apolitical, faithful to their oath and to the Constitution. Eugene Sledge, in his World War II memoir, wrote, quote, "War is brutish, inglorious, and a terrible waste. Combat leaves an indelible mark on those who are forced to endure it.
I really don't know how.
The only redeeming factors are my comrades' incredible bravery
and
their devotion to each other. In combat, there are thousands of variables, as I learned in Iraq and Afghanistan, and as so many of you did in so many more places.
For the other people across
leaders can
the
only
world
control about 3 of them.
Are all in one place.
You control how well you're trained, mostly how well you're equipped, and the last variable is how well you lead. After that, you're on your own. Our warfighters are entitled to be led by the best and most capable leaders.
Then you
that
should
is who
quit.
we need you all to be.
Do you resign?
Even then, in combat, even if you do everything
sir?
right, you may still lose people because the enemy always gets a vote. We have a sacred duty to ensure that our warriors are led by the most capable and qualified combat leaders. This is one thing you and I can control.
Ooh.
And we owe it to the force to deliver it.
Excuse me?
For too long, we have simply not done that. The military has been forced by foolish and reckless politicians to focus on the wrong things.
What do you mean?
In many ways, this speech is about fixing decades of decay. Some of it obvious.
You're telling all the people in this room that they've been wasting their time and that they've never been good enough. That's literally what he's telling all the people in that room. Yeah, he almost took out a tuba player with an axe on live television. That's right. This guy. I mean, seriously. Seriously. This guy is a joke. There's no one in that room that respects what this man is saying, that has any brain cells. I mean, if they're MAGA, they're MAGA. Yeah, are you quitting? Are you quitting then? Oh my God.
Of it hidden. Or as the chairman has put it, we are clearing out the debris. Removing the distractions.
Maybe that's why they needed to be in the room, Grandma.
Clearing the way for leaders
make sure they're
to be
not
leaders.
Laughing. Yeah, lay off the coke.
You might say we're
don't mean the
ending
soda.
the war on warriors. I heard someone wrote a book about that.
Lay off the Adderall.
For too
my
long, we've
God,
promoted
you
too many
talked your
uniformed
book?
leaders for the wrong reasons. Based on their race, based on gender quotas, based on historic so-called firsts. We've pretended that combat arms and non-combat arms are the same thing. We've weeded out so-called toxic leaders under the guise of double-blind psychology assessments.
What?
Promoting risk-averse, go-along-to-get-along conformists instead.
What?
You name it.
Is he talking about the people in that room who have spent their entire career getting to where they are in the top leadership of the United States military operation globally? You're telling those people in that room that they've been part of just kind of like a boondoggle? Really? Wow, that's brave. I hope you get walked out to your car. Is he talking about the don't ask, don't tell regime? Yeah, right? Give me a break.
The department did it. Foolish and reckless political leaders set the wrong compass heading, and we lost our way. We became
I thought we were strong.
the woke department.
What?
But not anymore. Right now, I'm looking out at a sea of Americans who made a choice when they were young men and young women to do something most Americans will not, to serve something greater than yourselves, to fight for God and country, for freedom and the Constitution. You made a choice to serve when others did not, and I commend you. You are truly the best of America. But this does not mean, and this goes for all of us, that our path to this auditorium on this day was a straight line, or that the conditions of the formations we lead are where we want them to be. You love your country, and we love this uniform, which is why we must do better.
What?
We just have to be honest.
They've been doing a bad
We have to
job?
say with our mouths what we see with our eyes.
What?
To just tell it like it is in plain English.
He's not like us.
To point out the obvious things right in front of us. That's what leaders must do. We cannot
You
go
don't
another
think
day
they've
without
been
directly addressing the
forthcoming?
plank.
So he's also saying that the leaders have not been forthcoming. That these leaders who have been in their jobs have not been forthcoming, have not been straightforward, have not called a thing. That's what he's doing. That's what I'm hearing. Doesn't sound very great to me.
In our own eye, without addressing the problems in our own commands
I don't know.
and in
I
our
don't
own
understand.
formations. This administration has done a great deal from day one to remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department.
You're
To rip out the politics.
Ooh,
No
that's
more
buzzing,
identity
sorry.
months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change.
Okay. I apologize. This man is a pig. We knew this, so it's not like we didn't know. But I just want to acknowledge very strongly what a fucking pig this man is. And I hope very bad things happen to him because he's asked for it.
Worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are
No
done
more
with that
debris.
shit. I've made it my mission to uproot the obvious distractions that made us less capable and less lethal.
Sorry.
That said, the War Department requires the next step.
I can't listen to your entire
Underneath
thing.
the woke garbage is a deeper problem, and a
The
more
woke
important problem
garbage.
that we are fixing and fixing fast. Common sense is back at the White House, so making the necessary changes is actually pretty straightforward. President Trump expects it. And the litmus test for these changes is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Would I want my eldest son, who is 15 years old,
Oh, dear.
eventually joining the types of formations that we are currently wielding? If in any way the answer to that is
So
no,
sorry
or even
about the
yes,
noise.
but, then we're doing something wrong. Because
It's
my
his
son
mic
is no
pack
more
buzzing,
important than
yeah.
any other American citizen who dons the cloth of our nation. He is no more important than your son. All precious souls made in the image and likeness of God. Every parent deserves to know that their son or their daughter that joins our ranks is entering exactly the kind of unit that the Secretary of War would want his son to join. Think of it as the golden rule test. Jesus said, do unto...
Okay, forget it. Yeah, all right, I got the point. I get the point, Pete. I get the point. I can't listen to your buzzing, let alone your words. So there it is. There you go. Yeah. Well, I have it. Whoops, let me pull that up. I have the coming remarks from our president. Yeah, wouldn't let my kid join a club his kid is in. All right, how about that? How about that? You can hardly tell he's an alcoholic former TV host. Yeah, you can hardly tell. No more politically correct rules of engagement. That's right. We're going to be rude bitches. Everybody, get ready. We're all going to be Joan Collins. Damn it. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Let me see what I got here. I got some good stuff here. La 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 la. Oh, that's a long piece. Save that. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Wait, wasn't there something there was something court-wise I wanted to read. Shoot. Hold on. Fuck, man. Maybe it's this. Hold on. What is this? 63. What is this? Oh, that's the Mike Lindell stuff. I kind of want to read that. Let me see what else this is. What's this? Domestic terrorism. Oh, that was a thing from a few years ago. Okay. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm not really organized. I know. Kind of usual. Kind of the usual stuff. All right. Oops. Okay, why is that so big? Whatever. Anyway, no fat generals. Yeah, he talks about people being fat and beardos, people who are beards. Probably his anal plug. It's low on battery. That's a low on battery for your anal plug there, sir. Carla would be proud. Grandma. If he was a host, what kind of parasite did he have? Whoa! That's a good one, Josh. No fat. What do you do with a general when he eats more than a general? The buzzing was his signal chat notifications blowing up. Oh, God bless America. Well, anyway, I pulled a couple things. This is from yesterday. I don't know why this has this. Why is this so big? Why? Why? Oh my God. Stop. Stop. Okay, well that's not better, but okay. Wow, your header, guys, is ridiculous. Can I just say that? Nobody cares. All right. Anyway, this is from CNN. That's a fucking waste of screen, but okay. Fuck. I hate capitalism. I'm sorry. I like buying stuff and I like fun clothes and shit like that, but I'm so done with all this. I'm so done with being just fucking manipulated. I don't know. I'm really done. All right. Anyway, beyond that, Trump's DOJ probes former FBI leadership. Oh, Jim Comey, hold my beer. The FBI leadership, which he appointed, by the way, over document mishandling allegations. This is yesterday's piece from CNN. All right. Oh, good. Okay. I see. Okay. The Justice Department is conducting a national security investigation around the FBI leadership when Christopher Wray, who was placed by Trump, was director in the latest probe by the Trump administration of the president's political enemies. According to two people familiar with the investigation, the Western District of Virginia is leading the inquiry related to alleged destruction or mishandling of documents connected, wait for it, with the Durham Special Counsel investigation. That's right. Yeah, not around anything else. No, just the Durham investigation. Yikes. The investigation is looking at multiple potential subjects from the top leadership of the FBI from 2020 through 2024. At the time Wray was director. Again, installed by Trump. Just saying. Investigators have been seeking interviews in recent weeks and have spoken with staff who worked on the 7th floor of FBI headquarters during Wray's tenure, where the leadership suite is, the sources said. Wow, that's a weird paragraph, but okay. The investigation comes at a time when President Donald Trump has become more overt in calling for the prosecution of former FBI officials, following the indictment of Wray's predecessor, James Comey, last week. Trump on Saturday accused Wray of lying about events of January 6th and insisting other indictments of his political opponents would come. Okay. So he's saying that's what he's accusing him of? Lying about January 6th? That sounds so weak. Christopher Wray. Oh, wait a minute.
It's a baby voice opportunity. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Christopher Wray. The then director of the FBI has some major explaining to do in a court of law. Maybe. That's 2 in a row. Comey and Wray, who got caught lying with our great country at stake. Can you even believe it? I wrote that on my Truth Social on Saturday.
CNN has reached out to Wray for comment. Multiple prosecutors are working on the investigation of the Wray-era FBI front office. Why don't they investigate his Nassar investigation, which was terrible and probably covered up child sexual abuse? I don't know. That seems like some save the children. Hashtag. Anyway. Let's see. FBI. Okay, blah, 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 blah. The Wray area FBI front office, which was of particular interest to now FBI Director Kash Patel. From his first months on the job, the investigation includes questions about documents that were stored in burn bags, which are often used to dispose of paper versions of classified records, the sources said. So, the investigation appears to be intersecting as well with the recent declassification of part of the report written by former special counsel John Durham, who examined investigators who handled sensitive political investigations around Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton in 2016, one of the sources said. The prosecutors appear to be pursuing the case in the Western District of Virginia because of how national security documents sometimes are retained in an FBI document storage facility in Winchester, which is in the district. Attorney General Pamela Joe, also recently directed federal prosecutors to launch a grand jury investigation around intelligence used by federal law enforcement in 2016. Fun fact, Pamela Joe is being skewered by some in the right because, I kid you not, there are some people in the right-wing media sphere who are saying that Pamela Joe was outshined by Lindsay, hold my beer, I don't even know what her, Halloran, I don't know what her fucking name is, but Lindsay, that she was wig pulled by Lindsay, who got the indictment on Comey done in 4 days when bitch couldn't get it done in however long she had. I don't even know how long they were talking about it, but whatever. So there you go. There you go. Anyone heard anything about a Trump RX website? No, is there? Oh my God. Is he? No, the live event hasn't begun, so I don't see any. I hope to God, I don't know. I don't want to play anymore. Can I just not play anymore? No, I can't, I guess. Okay. Anyways, Pamela Joe also recently directed federal prosecutors to launch a grand jury investigation around intelligence used by federal law enforcement in 2016. So she did. Have they launched a grand jury investigation yet? Or did she just say they're going to? Because this is the difference between this administration, what they say they're going to do versus what they end up doing. While the investigation remains active, the U.S. Attorney's Office for Western Virginia is one among several that has faced inner turmoil in recent weeks. Former Virginia State Prosecutor Robert Trachy has been in the position of acting U.S. Attorney for a little over a month. Trump's initial appointee, Todd Gilbert, resigned only 2 months into his tenure after a standoff with the White House over who would be his deputy, according to another person familiar with the situation and local news outlets, including the Roanoke Times. A spokesman for the Western District of Virginia declined to comment. Crash mentioned finding documents. This is the head of the FBI. Patel mentioned finding documents and hard drives in a room in FBI headquarters in an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast in June 2025. My guys are going through that right now, Patel said on the podcast. Okay. Oh boy. The front office suite of the FBI is a specialized facility where classified documents can be kept. Oh, so they were stored in the place where they should be stored? What? Escalator gate quote. Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not an escalator. Not an escalator repairman. Okay, the director's office and others on the 7th floor are considered secure facilities used to store highly classified material are outfitted with burn bags. Even now, according to current FBI officials, there are burn bags in use as part of the authorized manner to handle such documents, and documents in the burn bags are almost certainly backed up electronically, according to former and current Bureau officials. That's right, because that's how they handle their document security. In recent days, but here's the thing, let me tell you and you guys know, but for the chuds who are listening and hating on me, basically, Patel can say these things because he can just say, oh, well, there's stuff in burn bags. What he doesn't tell you is that stuff has been backed up on the system, which is entirely what has happened. I would bet the farm that that's what happened, is that all of those things are backed up with digital copies or whatever, however their retention is. But I can guarantee you that burn bags is the way you want to go with documents that you then need to get rid of, because you can't shred them, right? Chuds know that, right? You guys have watched enough TV to know that you can somehow reconstruct documents that have been shredded, right? You've watched enough, what is that? CSI, whatever show you guys watch, whatever procedural show you guys watch. So yeah, that's not actually a bad thing. And, Patel can check it out and make sure that those documents have been backed up. That's fine. That's a good use of an audit. I'm sure that those things are audited, however they need to do it. But so you see, it's easy for these idiots to lie to you, chuds, because they can go on a half-truth, or they can not provide all the context, but it makes it sound really, really, really bad. But it actually isn't. And I understand that every attorney with any kind of credibility has said in no uncertain terms that the charges against Comey are going to be dropped because there's nothing there. People were doing their jobs. You can disagree with the job that they're doing. I have no love lost for fucking Jim Comey. I think he's a dick. I think he's a self-aggrandizing dick. But he still doesn't deserve to be, and we as the American taxpayer don't deserve to have our court resources used for political vengeance. I mean, the fact of the matter is Dump was convicted and in multiple cases by a jury of his peers. And that's the way the system works. You cannot like it, but that is the way the system works. And frankly, he got away with a lot. So, whatever. Why are you so mad? Anyway. In recent days, Patel has continued his criticism of FBI leadership, writing on social media following the indictment of Comey that, quote, for far too long,
He needs a baby voice. Oh my God, of course he does. For far too long, previous co-op leadership and their enablers weaponized. I use the word, I get $1. Weaponized federal law enforcement. Damaging once proud institutions, what, from the time of Hoover? And severely eroding public trust. No, I think that's you, sir. I think you are eroding the public trust. That's right. You, Class Patel, are an embarrassment to this country. Thank you.
All right. Ray, whom Trump appointed to lead the FBI in 2017, yet again, after he fired Comey, resigned before Trump's second inauguration in January. That's right. 3 years short of his 10-year term. During his farewell address, Ray called on the FBI to maintain its integrity. That's funny. No matter what's happening out there, Ray said, in here, in your heart, we've got to stay committed to doing our work the right way every time. That means following the facts wherever they lead, no matter who likes it or doesn't. Because trust me, if there's anything I've learned in this job, there's always someone who doesn't like you. Oh, God. Yikes. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, again, Chris Ray, I don't fucking care. You fucked up the Larry Nassar investigation, so God knows what other child crimes you didn't attend to during your tenure, Mr. FBI director. But again, I don't need to see him dragged into court and any taxpayer money wasted any more than it already has been on his salary and his retirement, frankly. I can't. So anyway, that's what's happening there. Yikes. Let's see. Oh. I wanted to read this I think this is a Substack, if I'm not mistaken. But it caught my eye. I don't know. Teresa, you might have actually given this to me. That is entirely possible. The Trump RX website. Where's my Where did it go? Where did it go? I had a thing that was queued up for the Trump announcement. Oh my God, it is Trump RX. What? I'm sad. This life makes me sad. This life makes me really sad sometimes. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is he making an announcement? Oh, here we go. All right. Okay, I've got that on hold there. Okay. While we're waiting, he is going to make an announcement. I guess it's about Trump RX. I don't even understand what's going on right now. I got to be honest with you. Anyone? Okay, yeah. Looks like so far only Pfizer is on board. What does this all mean? What does this mean? Oh, Stone Kettle, 4M. Pete Hegseth is basically a meat Cybertruck. That's a good one, Jane. That's a good one. In exchange for the new agreement, Pfizer will receive a 3-year reprieve on planned pharmaceutical tariffs. Wait, what? What? Hold on. I don't want to play anymore. I'm going to move to Ireland, I think, if they'll have me. So it's just with one company? Are we taking a piece of Pfizer? Are we basically becoming a communist country? Which, I with all the corruption, we get all the corruption too. And the med beds and his AI thing from yesterday, which was a completely racist and stupid fucking AI version of Chuck Schumer and what's his name? Oh my God, Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. This is why I need the aneurysm to work a little faster. I don't really get it. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so this is from NBC News from about a little less than an hour ago. Trump to announce deal with Pfizer to lower drug prices. The deal is part of Trump's broader effort to tie the amount the government pays for certain drugs to the prices paid overseas. Okay. Okay, so there was a whole thing about the Medicare being able to negotiate drug prices, right? Remember that? And I think it passed, right? So I don't understand why what's going on here. Like, shouldn't they be able to negotiate? I mean, I don't understand. Oh, I don't understand what's happening here. Okay, President Trump will announce Tuesday that his administration has reached an agreement with Pfizer for it to voluntarily sell its drugs at lower prices, according to a White House official. The official, however, did not specify which drugs would be affected or by how much, nor was it clear whether the lower prices would be available only for people on government insurance such as Medicaid or those with private insurance. Pfizer, among the largest drug makers in the U.S., makes a range of drugs, including the blood thinner Eliquis, the cancer drug Ibrance, and the COVID vaccine. The deal is part of Trump's broader effort to implement a most favored nation pricing model for prescription drugs, meaning that the U.S. pays no more than the lowest prices charged in other wealthy countries. In May, Trump signed an executive order outlining the initiative, which directed federal officials to pursue a plan that would tie the amount the government pays for certain drugs to prices paid overseas. I mean, in May, Pfizer, the first drug maker to announce a deal under the plan, will reduce prices across the board. That's what it is. Across the board. A White House official said the company will also sell its drugs on a direct-to-consumer website called Trump RX. What? The company will also announce a $70 billion investment in research and development and domestic manufacturing, the official said. Pfizer did not immediately respond to a request for comment because they're still trying to figure out how to do it. Prescription drug prices are notoriously higher in the U.S. than in other wealthy countries. A 2022 survey by KFF Kaiser Family Foundation, I think that is, a nonpartisan health policy research group, found 3 in 4 U.S. adults say the cost of really, 3 in 4 U.S. adults said the price is unaffordable, which is interesting because couldn't you just fucking look at the prices and determine whether or not they're affordable or not? I mean, my shot is at least $3,300 a month for one shot. That's what my arthritis shot is. And that's the lowest that you can possibly get it for cash out of hand. It's usually $7,000 a month. So I think they had time. They had time and they had time to make these changes. It is impossible to look up an actual price. Yeah, exactly. I'm going based on GoodRx when I look at GoodRx, or when I look at my insurance. Actually, when I look at what covered. So I'm not sure what's going to happen when they put me back on Cosentix or whatever they put me on, because I'm not sure I can actually afford the copay on it. So we'll see if I even get on it, because if it's not paid for, I can't pay for that. I can't pay $3,000 a month for a shot. I'll just have to deal with bone loss and, chronic pain. That's a real thing. That's how my life is. I don't know about yours, but that's how my life is. Okay, let's see here. Let me see. What else have we got? I got a lot of things to do. Okay, I did when he made his thing. First of all, I'm not convinced that I don't. Well, actually, let me check that. Is there any headlines on whether or not the peace plan uh, between Israel and Gaza has moved any farther? Excess slams fat generals. Oh my god. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I know I'm all over the place. I really apologize. I'm so sorry. Where'd my thing go? Oh. Okay, so now this is Reuters. I just pulled up the basic Reuters homepage. And that's a picture of the generals that were sitting there. I don't see any women. Oh, I see. I see one woman. There's one woman right here. Wow. Egg says slams fat general, says U.S. officers should resign if they don't support his agenda. Isn't that wrong? Like, isn't that wrong? Isn't that wrong? U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Pigsbreath slammed fat generals and diversity initiatives that he said led to decades of decay in the military and told a rare gathering of commanders on Tuesday that they should resign if they don't support his agenda. Isn't that like actually the opposite of what agenda you support in the military? Don't you support the constitutional agenda? Pretty sure that's what those people think. I mean, all right, Hamas under pressure as Trump issues deadline on Gaza peace plan. So this is interesting. I thought that it was the Israelis who hadn't agreed to all the little pieces, which I pulled up the 21-part peace plan. Hamas reviews 20. It's 20? It's not a 21 point? Okay. Did we get rid of a point? Pfizer just about the obesity drug met Sarah for $7.3 billion. Oh, just bought. Sorry. I see what you're saying, Jim. Yeah, we know the costs are going to double with 100% tariffs. Yeah, well, how does this work with the tariffs? How does this work with the tariffs? My Advantage plan changes for 2026 changed from a fixed copay tiered drug formulary to a percentage of total cost. What? 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 Okay. Hamas reviews Dump's 20-point plan. Dump says Hamas has 3 to 4 days. 3 to 4 days. Business days, calendar days, what are we talking? 3.5, 4? 4 plus 1? What? Plan includes ceasefire, prisoner swap, Hamas disarmament. Arab and Muslim countries welcome Trump's peace efforts. Oh, they do? Like unilaterally? You can say that, Reuters? Dump gave Hamas 3 to 4 days on Tuesday to accept a U.S.-backed peace plan for Gaza, warning of a very sad end if the group rejected the proposal that he said was close to ending the 2-year-old conflict. Mediators Qatar and Egypt shared the 20-point plan with Hamas late on Monday after Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu had appeared alongside Trump and endorsed the document, which saying it satisfies. It does? Now, I just heard, did I hear something different? Because he actually didn't seem to totally fully commit to some of these things at that press conference or whatever it was. I'm not sure I'm really, I don't know if I agree with you, Reuters. Oh my God, spicy. Spicy. Okay, let's see here. Wait. EU on charm offensive in Ukraine as Hungary block. Stop it. As Hungary blocks Kyiv's accession. What? What? EU enlargement boss meets minority communities in Ukraine. Budapest has concerns about Hungarian minorities' treatment. Orban is blocking Kyiv from progressing on accession. Some European officials see his position as cynical. Orban faces tough election next year, is close to Moscow. Okay. meeting the Hungarian minority in the west of the country to try and ease tensions between neighbors that are threatening Kyiv's accession bid. Ukraine wants to accelerate work on joining the 27-member bloc, which it considers most realistic path to economic prosperity. This is the EU. That's interesting. I just wanted to see what that was all about. Victor, why are you doing that? Yeah, whatever. Keir Starmer's in trouble. Did you guys see that other guy that is running against Keir Starmer? I just saw like an ad for him, but I didn't really look into it. Carrie, if you're in the room, do you recall who's running against, not Reform, but someone who's like an alternative to Keir Starmer, more I guess from Labor? I'm not really sure. I have to look at him. Viagra is a big problem at the assisted living community. There's like 12. Oh, stop. Oh, Jim, terrible. That's terrible. Yuck. Yeah, they continue. Yeah. Let's see, because there's a lot of conditional. Yeah, exactly. There is a lot of conditional language in the agreement, right? Grace Lisa. Qatar is the biggest sponsor of Hamas. I wonder what they think. They are. I thought Iran was Hamas's whatever. Hey Jim, how's No, stop it. Stop it. Ugh. Afghanistan's cell phone and internet services down after Taliban. Oh shit, he's on. God, I had him turned down. I hate it when that happens. Oh my God. Hey Marty. Hey Marty. Marty. That's what I always think of when I see him. Marty McCary, the head of the FUDA. The head of the FUDA. Okay, here we go. Do I have it at 125 still?
The FDA Commissioner, Marty McCary, and I just want
Marty!
They've been working hard on many, many things. I think this is one of the biggest medical announcements that this office has ever made, because we're talking about price reductions, as you'll see in a couple of minutes, that are incredible. For many years, Americans have paid the highest prices anywhere in the world for prescription drugs. They paid far more, 10 times.
The mic isn't working, I guess.
15 times more than other countries for the exact same product. A major reason is that the American consumers have been subsidizing research and development costs for the entire planet. They put all of that on us, and yet they were the beneficiaries too. So it's being changed as of today. The United States had just 4% of the world's population and consumers, only 13% combating this prescription drugs, yet pharmaceuticals.
Hold on, I have a better audio. I know, I get it. I hate him too. But it's not just about him. Marty. I know, it's RSBN, which is even worse. Here we go.
Drugs, yet pharmaceutical companies make 75% of their profits from the United States. So think of that. We have 4% of the market, 13% of prescription drugs, and yet, Albert, I didn't know you were that violent. I'm surprised you're agreeing to this.
I'm getting better.
No, he's doing the right thing. Thank you. And yet they make 75% of their profits from the American customers, so that's something. That's why I signed an executive order combating this practice, and we signed it very happily a little while ago. Today, Pfizer is committing, as will other drug companies as we go through the weeks, but Pfizer is truly one of the biggest in the world and one of the greatest in the world. Today, Pfizer is committing to offer all of their prescription medications to Medicaid, and it will be at the most favored nation's prices. It's going to have a huge impact on bringing Medicaid costs down, like nothing else.
Wait,
I told you that
they just unilaterally
in my first
decided
term, I was
to
so
do that?
proud of the fact that for the first time in 28 years, drug prices came down. And I had a news conference that I explained it was 1/10 of 1%.
Yeah,
but it was down.
aging.
And here we're talking about, in one case, over 1,000%.
RFK looks unhappy.
This is a critical
I don't
step
think he wants
forward
people
to
to
our
get
work
medicine.
and to improve health care, and hardworking, low-income Americans, especially low-income Americans, will be helped so greatly. In addition, Pfizer is agreeing to provide some of their most popular current medications to all consumers at heavily discounted prices.
All consumers?
Anywhere between 50 and even 100%. And that's
What?
off the price. And in some cases, even more than that. These drugs will be available for direct purchase online at a website operated by the federal government. We're also announcing that moving forward, new medications introduced by Pfizer to the American market will be sold at the reduced most favored nation cost. So we'll be paying essentially what other countries are paying, who have been
I want to see the deal.
Much lower for many, many years. Furthermore, Pfizer will invest $70 billion to reshore domestic manufacturing facilities. In other words, they're going to bring
we offshored
a lot of
their toxic
facilities
waste or
to
something.
make their drugs and make what they make, their product. They're going to make it in the United States. I appreciate that $70 billion investment and fund research and development right here in America. We're working with other major pharmaceutical companies to secure similar agreements. Everyone understands that the status quo where Americans pay more for drugs, prescription drugs, and they pay more than foreign countries.
I want to see this.
Who take advantage of us in many other ways, although not so many anymore.
Really?
I think
I wonder if on
we
C-SPAN.
pretty well got that stopped, right? I think so.
C-SPAN
We've
should have
stopped
it.
that, but they took advantage of a lot of other precedents, that I can tell you. But we're making this pay to be very unacceptable, what they've done in the past. That's
what? You're talking
why
in
my
front of the
administration is
Pfizer
also
CEO.
taking historic action to investigate the unfair and discriminatory trade practices of other countries that extort our pharmaceutical makers to shift costs onto the American consumer. They say, no, give us a price, a very low price, and just charge the American consumer, charge it to the U.S. The United States is done subsidizing the health care of the rest of the world. It's a big thing. I can't tell you how big this is. And I was all set to go on it first term, but then you had the COVID, and we had to focus on that.
Really?
But,
so you were going to do this
I want to get back to you, because
really?
this is, you're talking about 14, 15, 1,600% reductions in some cases. But by taking this bold step, we're ending the era of global price gouging at the expense of American families, and we're making America healthy again, which is our little theme for the people behind me. And I want to just ask Secretary Kennedy to come up, and we'll start, and we'll go through it with Oz and Plump and Bourla and McCary, and we'll go through it, and if you have any questions. But this is a really big announcement. This is something that most people said was not doable.
I'm not kidding.
And other countries are going along because we told them that if you don't go along, they didn't have to go along. But if they didn't go along, we were going to put extra tariffs on those countries.
Wait, what?
And we were going to charge them the amount of money that they should be paying for the reduction in costs. So I think we had a pretty good negotiating position. So, Bobby, I'd like you to speak about this, and what a great job, and thank you very much.
And I've got to go poop. It's a bad morning. I understand. I'm sorry, everybody.
People who run up here, Steel Merkel, Dr. Heidi Overton, who played key roles in this negotiation and help make this happen. And also Inma Hernandez, who's not up here, but John Brooks and Chris Clark.
Stand in front of the microphone, you stupid brain worm.
In some cases, I think, including last night, 24 hours without any sleep. This would not have happened without President Trump's leadership. I told my son last night, we're all under secrecy about this, but I told my son late last night.
Oh, so you broke secrecy?
27-year-old son, Connor, who's a very liberal Democrat. I told him this was happening, and he just paused for a minute, and he said, "Thank you, Dad. I'm so proud of you." Because this is something Democrats have wanted for 20 years. Republicans have wanted for 20 years. Everybody said they're going to do it. Nobody has even taken a step towards doing it.
Really?
And the reason was because it was such a daunting task. And, even all of the negotiators, you see, I also want to thank Howard Lutnick. This would not have happened without him. But even all of the negotiators here and all the people on at HHS and at the White House team, all we could see was all the reasons that this couldn't happen. Everybody had tried. Nobody could make it happen. And it was President Trump alone who, with his doggedness, his persistence, he saw this clearly in a way that none of us other, in its most simplest terms. Why are we spending more on this country than any other country? Why are we spending 75% of the revenues that come to the pharmaceutical industry? We're doing all the research.
Wait a minute.
And everybody else is writing.
Didn't we already negotiate Medicaid prices? Am I wrong? I thought that I really thought, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Okay, I'm going to have to look into this. But anyway, sorry. Here we go.
On our slipstream.
Yeah, it's Medicare and just on
President
certain
Trump,
meds. Yeah, it's not everything.
I would say harangued and harassed us to make this happen. I was getting calls 12 o'clock at night. Oh, are you asleep? And you got to get MFN done. And at one point, Dr. Oz told me I can't take the president's calls anymore. I have a lot of reasons. My wife has a lot of reasons to say to me about different things that happen in my life. Doesn't that give you anxiety? And I say, I don't get anxiety. This gave me anxiety. Oh, thank you, President Trump. It would not have happened without your leadership. This is real leadership. It's a president who has a vision and makes that vision happen. And if any other president of the United States who could have done this in our history, I'm very grateful to you. This is an extraordinary benefit. The American people, thank you for your vision, President Trump. Your bold action, your unwavering commitment to health and well-being of the American people. Never has a president stood up so bravely for the American people with respect to health care.
Never?
And I, by the way, I forgot to thank Albert Burla. Albert and I have had a long history of antipathy and antagonism toward each other. But I have to say his leadership in this took tremendous courage. And he really created a template for corporate responsibility, for putting public health ahead of his individual interests. So I'm very, very grateful to you for that, Albert. Under the leadership of President Trump, the U.S. government is now acting as a tough negotiator on behalf of the American people. Today is about fairness, it's about equality, it's about giving hope to those who are trying to stay healthy, who are managing illness and who are fighting for their lives. We refuse to make the most vulnerable citizens continue to pay an unthinkable price for the world's pharmaceutical breakthroughs, which we pay for. This policy is a shield for the chronically ill who have carried the burden of high drug costs for far too long. It's a signal to every American family that we're finally putting their health and financial security first.
I got it, yeah.
And it sets a new standard, one that says we won't write blank checks to the drug industry any longer.
Wow.
No family should ever be forced to choose between filling a prescription and putting food on the table.
Go into this.
Americans should not be gouged paying 300 or 400 or 1,000% more than people in other countries for the exact same drug, many times manufactured by in the same factory in New Jersey and sold in Great Britain for 1/10 the price that it's being sold for here.
While the government is closed.
This week, and I was with some friends up in Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, were you?
An old friend, one of my oldest friends, his wife and daughter have a chronic disease. And that chronic disease last year cost $150,000 to treat. And the mother had to choose whether she was going to take that money and spend it on her or her daughter. And she spent it on her daughter. So she had to make that choice. It's a choice that no mother should have to make.
But she had $150,000 to spend on medicine?
Recently on drug prices.
I just have to stop taking my medicine when I don't have enough money.
$180,000 on one drug. One cashed in all of her savings and worked 3 jobs to make ends meet. One almost quit her job and moved to Germany to get the drug cheaper. Some looked at getting the drug on unsafe secondary markets because they could not afford it through the legitimate markets.
So
today we begin to right that ship for the mother trying to help her child get better, for a grandmother at the pharmacy counter, and for millions of Americans who want to restore their health. Today is about another promise made by President Trump and another promise kept by President Trump to the American people. And it's only just the beginning. This is all thanks to your unwavering leadership, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marty! Oh, no, it's Oz.
There is a fine line between vision and hallucination.
Oh. That's right.
People have to follow you for it to be a vision. Oh. And President Trump, you made a lot of people follow you an idea that
not just
most people thought was not possible, even remotely.
Yeah. Oh, I
And when
almost
we
moved to Germany. Wah.
I'll speak to some of the people who are involved in this process because it was incredible effort that gives me great pride to serve in this administration. And the fact that it did not leak is also an issue of pride for us because these were tough challenges. And Albert Bourla looks very calm up here and cat-like, but he is ferocious when you get him in a negotiating room. This is true for all the pharmaceutical companies that we are negotiating with. What? And Secretary Kennedy, my son Oliver, who I told about this deal as we was walking over here, is a Republican.
Everyone
and
talking
you know what
to your
he said?
Children?
Thank you for making us proud. Because it's not just a Democratic problem, it's a Republican problem. This has not happened before. And it took a crusader like President Trump, with the support of Secretary Kennedy, Secretary Lutnick, I see the vice president's here as well, just unwavering, dogged pursuit of change. And now I have to admit that I know the president has me on speed dial, and most of the time when he would call me, as Secretary Kennedy alluded to, it was about MFN, and he always had reasons why we needed to go faster, why people were being hurt today.
What does that even mean?
Because we're allowing the kinds of pricing that had been tolerated for so many decades in America. The time of the day didn't matter, the day of the week didn't matter, and that's how the president was functioning. This was such an important part of what he saw as his legacy, which is
you
why
can get a transcript after the fact from
many
C-SPAN.
others to deliver it. And the laser focus that the president had on this, which he shared with me the day that I was nominated, that he nominated me for this position, and has reminded me frequently since, made it a top priority for us as well at CMS. Now, to do this, you have to have tactics, not just vision, but tactics. And the first tactic the president shared was to introduce me to Albert Bourla. He took us to dinner with Secretary Kennedy, and he argued, and he's a great deal maker, as you know, that if you're going to make a deal of this scope, of this nature, you need trust. So the president lit the kindling. He got the embers going, but he needed us to nurture that beginning of a fire so they would blow.
So you guys couldn't come up with this idea on your own?
Ever, certainly in the space of pharmaceuticals. I gained to respect Albert, and I'll tell you why. In particular,
you came to respect him?
It was because he recognized the dangerous problems facing.
So you didn't respect him in the beginning?
So many Americans that they had to choose between taking medications prescribed by their doctor that could be life-saving, or shopping at the grocery store, paying for their kids a fundamentally important need that would be squeezed out because they couldn't compromise on drugs. Or often worse, they compromise on the drugs. 1/3 of all prescriptions are not filled in the pharmacy because of this. We talked through the winter. We talked through the spring. We talked through the summer. And we got nowhere. We stalled. The industry is powerful. They're important. They have smart people. There's no reason for them to give numbers that the president is articulating today. And you see these numbers on the charts around us. These are massive wins for the American people. But the president in July demanded, after the executive order, that manufacturers make a firm commitment and to lower prices or else. And it sent shockwaves through the industry. It got the ball rolling again. Our talks with Albert heated up. But it wasn't until, if you want an inside story, it wasn't until last week that we made a major breakthrough. And our hardworking team embarked on a remarkable story that I think books will be written about, 24/7 nonstop with industry, with Albert, with his great team at Pfizer. And with this partnership, we began to deal with the fundamental challenges we have, which is protecting medical advances for the future while at the same time securing the prices Americans want today. We're going to continue to stimulate and strengthen innovation. That's what a great country does, and we are a great country with a great leader. We're going to protect the U.S. hegemony in R&D. We dominate the planet in discovering cures for illnesses. All those orphan ailments, all those remarkable advances, they come from research labs here with companies like Pfizer and other great ones in the pharmaceutical space. We're going to lead in the life sciences. We're going to lead in ideas. And we're going to make sure that we do all that while we're being fair to the American people, especially our most vulnerable.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely going to be an entire PhD thesis written about this era.
Yes, we're going to celebrate this historic day, I predict, this historic day in the medical field for generations to come. The heroic negotiators that I do feel compelled to mention, and Secretary Kennedy kindly also mentioned their names. Some of them can't be in here because they're busy negotiating future deals. Inma Hernandez-Delso,
he's not the
John Brooks,
guy.
who's
That's
a
the other
deputy
guy.
administrator of mine, Theo Merkel, who is in the back and tall and hard to miss with DPC, and Corey Enslin with the same group did a spectacular job.
Supplement,
and Don Dempsey at OMB. Just wonderful human beings worked tirelessly to get this done. We were able to secure this first MFN deal. And the president touched on this, but we have much more to come.
Insulin, what about insulin?
You'll be hearing breaking news from the president for the rest of the fall. And Mr. President, these brilliant minds are here because of you. Now, I don't want to just pay homage to this. I want to actually speak this a little bit. The passion to protect the American people brings top-tier Americans into the government. We've created a powerful administration with the president's leadership, an administration of winners.
Is that what you guys call
people
yourselves?
Get things done. They see the generational opportunity to fix the biggest problems our nation faces.
Raspberry ketones.
And the person who led this negotiation, Chris Klump, embodies this seal. Now, Chris Klump came to visit Secretary Kennedy and I the very first day we were looking for staff to try to bring in the government, and neither of us really had.
We just want to hear what you actually are going to do.
Challenging this might be.
Okay, I don't care about your.
And we knew that he had built a business that was worth several $100 million. I
don't care.
And the secretary, very poker-faced as he tends to be, looked at him and said, "Are you willing to give it all up and move your family to Washington? A young family, 4 young children, beautiful wife. Are you willing to come across the country and serve our nation, serve this president to ensure vital programs like Medicare, which he runs, will keep our seniors healthy for years to come?" He gave it all up, like so many have in this administration, passionate to follow the president's lead and serve under Secretary Kennedy. And for those of you at home who are watching, and I hope there are quite a few,
yes,
I think this shows just how cool a place it is to work.
To supplant civil servants.
And I take great pride in handing the ball to Chris.
Yes,
Chris,
let me
tell the
praise
American
you, sir.
people
Even
what they have won thanks to your passionate ability to deliver on President Trump's promise.
Whatever. I don't even know what you just said. Here's the guy that moved his fucking big-ass family. Why don't you keep it in your pants, mister? How about that?
That as recently as
Who
last
the hell
night,
fucked you? That's what I want to know.
Everyone has said was impossible. And Secretary Kennedy and Administrator Oz, thank you.
Who
for
is this
having
guy?
trust in us
Chris
as a
something?
negotiating team to drive this forward on behalf of the American people. It is an absolute honor and privilege. And Mr. Borla, to you and to the team at Pfizer, you have taken a step that I think few.
Are you drunk, sir?
Requires a level of courage to change something that for decades administrations have tried. And there was no incentive rationally for you to do, and yet you've done it because you recognize the opportunity to align your economic interest.
So he just did it out of the kindness of his heart?
And we are grateful.
Really?
Today is historic.
Or
this has been discussed.
Is it that they get the single provider for Trump RX? Is that why Pfizer did it? Because they're going to corner a new market called Trump RX? Is that what it is? Because guess what? I know CEOs. They don't fucking make a decision unless it's in their best interest. Or unless they're being fired. Okay, that's it. I'm sorry. Even the nicest CEO, especially one that has shareholders, they're never going to do anything that impacts their bottom line in a negative way. Ever. Ever. So if something sounds too good to be true, it's because it is. Which is why we need the plan. This is ridiculous.
This is a major win in the battle for affordable health care and affordable drugs. As
Why
the
are we
president
not
said,
extending
on
the
average,
subsidy
we pay
then
nearly
for people
3
who
times what the rest of the wealthy world
need to
pays
find
for
health
branded
insurance
pharmaceuticals?
Why are we cutting 13 million
and yet we drive
people
more
off
than
of
50%
Medicaid?
of global R&D,
Why?
50% of revenues, nearly 70% of profits. It's unjust. It's morally unjust. And when this happens, we stifle innovation
They're
and we
obsessed
limit
with shaving
access for
because
the
the
most
best thing
vulnerable
themselves
people
do.
across the planet
I
and
mean,
in
he's
America
a terrible shave.
who need these
I'm
medications.
sorry, Meowing Star. I'm gonna go
And so the
there.
president directed us to make deals.
This guy
That's
forgot
what
to
he
put his
does,
human
and that's
eyes
what we
in.
do. And all great deals, and this is a great deal, are rooted in principles. And this deal was rooted in the principle of fairness. Now, the president could have directed us to go to the poorest country on the planet and find the cheapest price for every single drug and bring that back to the United States and use the might of the government to insist that that's the price we pay. And that might have worked, actually, for just a little bit. But very quickly, it would have utterly destroyed innovation in pharmaceuticals. It would have destroyed American privacy.
Okay.
Primacy.
I need to stop him here because here you go. Here you go. Here you go, babies. Okay. Because the argument against negotiating prices and all of that is because the pharmaceutical companies said, if you do that, we won't be able to innovate. We have to charge the Americans more. So this guy is parroting pharmaceutical industry backlash to lower drug prices. And this is Chris Klomp, the director of Medicare and deputy administrator of CMS. Wow, this is just like the incompetence crowd. Anyway, very interesting. Pay attention to the language. This is why I watch them, is because they give up the game in their words.
In building life-saving medications. There are nearly 20,000 known diseases on the planet. We have treatments or cures for far fewer than 10% of them. So that would have been a bad strategy, and it would have limited access to those who need those medications the most. But he didn't call for that. He didn't call for 50% lower than the lowest price on the planet. What he called for was fairness. And that's a powerful principle because we all grow up wanting to be on the right side of fair. And it allowed us to do what has not been done before, which is to call on manufacturers and ask them to be fair. And allows us to go to countries and ask them to pay their fair share in the battle against global disease. And that is the unlock for this great deal. Now, it's my privilege to talk just for a few minutes about the details of the deal.
Good, because I
First,
really want to
let's
hear
start with
these.
the definition of MFN. What do we mean by that? This is not made-up list prices that have often been quoted in prior administrations, stuffed with fees and rebates. We're talking about we start at net prices, after fees, after rebates, the prices people actually pay here, the prices people actually pay in other wealthy countries. We then index to a basket of countries, wealthy countries, across the world. And we go drug by drug, and we look for the lowest price. And that becomes the starting point for what an MFN price is in the United States. And then we've built this principles of fairness on 5 key pillars, as we've talked about. Number 1, as has been discussed.
Okay, I'm just going to stop him, just so I can regurgitate what I think I heard. So what I think I heard is that they have an index, they have a list of countries. They have a list of countries that are well-developed, wealthy countries. He said it, I didn't. Okay. And among those countries, they choose, did he say the lowest price of those countries, and then start negotiating from there? Let's see. Oops. Come on, Chris.
Direct access for patients at Trump RX, which is a site soon to be launched, available often at full MFN and always at lower prices than currently available. This is bypassing middlemen. It increases transparency. In many instances, prices are 80% lower than they are today. No more Canadian detours to purchase drugs more inexpensively at our neighbor. You do it from home. You do it a click. This is American ingenuity outsmarting the system. Number 2, the president was very clear to us and directed us to ensure that we secured the lowest prices for the most vulnerable Americans, those who are served by Medicaid. So we focused there first. So Pfizer will be putting virtually all of its portfolio of drugs at MFN prices available to Medicaid in the near future. This
Pfizer will put all, wait, did he say all? Wait, what?
Clear to us and directed us to ensure that we secured the lowest prices for the most vulnerable Americans, those who are served by Medicaid. So we focused there first. So Pfizer will be putting virtually all of its portfolio of drugs at MFN prices available to Medicaid in the near future. This safeguards the program. This ensures that this program lives as a lifeline without undue burden on the taxpayer for those who need it most, for our vulnerable Americans whom we are charged morally to care for.
Until you lose your Medicaid.
The third principle is about future-proofing fairness. This is the idea that Pfizer has committed, as are other manufacturers, that they will not launch a new drug for commercial, Medicare, Medicaid, or cash pay markets at a price that is higher than the other wealthy world. Now, they are free to price their drugs wherever they want. These are not price caps. These are not price controls. They can price however they'd like. We're simply asking them, and they are committing not to undercut us in other countries. This is an essential principle. This allows us to retrain other countries to appropriately value innovation for their citizens, to appropriately understand what fair share means, to contribute global R&D.
The budget of a
this
drug
allows
is the
us
marketing,
not to compromise access
for
those who need it most. And this is powerful commitment. The fourth principle is around shared savings. As our commerce colleagues and as our U.S. trade representative colleagues succeed in encouraging other countries to pay more for existing medications, a portion of that will go to fund additional R&D.
What? Wait, what? Wait, what? He's saying that part of this deal is getting other countries to pay more? That's what this depends on? Like how many countries? Like which countries? Like what? He is falling asleep. Look at, you can see, actually I'm going to take a picture of that because it's a great visual. He is asleep. He's asleep standing up. Yeah, 3-card Monty, you're right. I'm still taking the free chicken dinner. Yeah, absolutely. Do it. Do it, girl.
And a portion of that will repatriate back to the United States to offset prices, lower prices further for
a portion of that will what?
Americans on those existing drugs. And the fifth principle, as discussed, with hats off to Secretary Lutnick and Ambassador Jameson Greer from U.S. Trade, is about Pfizer committing to onshore 100% of the value of all imports that it
vowing to onshore 100% of the value of all the imports
currently imports to the United States, thus ensuring that we seal our great American resurgence.
What?
If you're watching this right now,
you're confused.
And you have been looking for evidence that this is a president who knows and cares about you, who is fighting for you, who is fighting for every American,
Chris.
This is Exhibit A.
Go fuck yourself.
This is not an empty promise. It's not platitudes. It's not lacking a plan. These are hard contracts with teeth, lowering prices now that we will all feel. These are the most significant, historical, substantive, mathematically quantified
raise
price
all
reductions
other prices because they can
in
charge
the
whatever
history
they
of our
want.
Country and modern day pharmaceuticals.
They can charge whatever they want.
I cannot thank you enough for your leadership in enabling this to happen. It is an absolute pleasure. The president has showed us that the impossible can be achieved, and that is what's happened today.
Oh my God! I want to see. Is there a Trump RX website yet?
With that in mind,
because we wouldn't talk about something without launching it, would we?
It is my absolute pleasure to introduce Albert Bourla, CEO of Pfizer.
Oh,
Mr.
Albert.
President, what
you have a fucking lot to explain,
to be
bitch.
here today in this office to announce a landmark agreement. I think it's an historic day.
Is this the coolest office? He has a beautiful office, but the Oval is the coolest. What do you think?
I think by far. And I have seen other presidents' offices. There's nothing like that.
Yeah, it's good office.
Yeah. So it's an historic day because I think today we are turning the tide and we are reversing an unfair situation. For years, other rich nations refused to pay the fair share for the medical innovation. And as a result, Americans had to assume disproportional cost on their shoulders.
Oh my God.
This situation, we all knew, is not sustainable. This situation is a situation that many wanted to change, but no one could. This is changing today with this agreement. In July,
did the other countries
the president
know this?
sent to me and other heads of pharmaceutical companies a letter. And over there he articulated
No, it was Chew. You were right the first time.
Specific requests.
Kiss my Chew.
These requests, it was obvious to us, were designed to lower drug cost in the America in different ways, each one of them. And altogether, holistically, to have synergistic effect in the impact that that will have in the U.S. healthcare cost and patients. With this deal that we signed today, we satisfied all 4 of President's requests, all 4.
He's a Greek-American veterinarian.
The big winner of this deal clearly will be the American patient. There is no doubt about it. They are the ones that will see significant impact in their ability to buy medicines. But I would argue that it is not the only winner. I think who else is a winner here? It is American innovation and American economy. In our industry, we had two major overhangs that have substantially reduced our valuations and
Pharma field
create
stock reporters.
concerns for us in our ability to invest. We are addressing both of them right now, and I will speak about them.
See if I can find
the first one was the uncertainty of tariffs. Because President is absolutely right. Tariffs is the most powerful tool to motivate behaviors, Mr. President, and clearly motivated ours. Right? So, by this agreement that we did, we...
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. I know, I'm interrupting him, but it's worth it. You know, he's saying all the same things. Blah, 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 bric-a-brac. Blah, blur, blur, blur. Oh, but look at this. Oh, contraire, mon frere. Take a look at this. Speaking of pharma reporting, yeah, Pfizer stock is up. Shit. No shit. The exclusive deals are really fucking great. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit. I can't do this without. Here's Pharma Voice from 5 days ago, September 25th, 5 days ago. Pharma Voice. Hi, Lee. Lunchtime. Will the R&D people come from? Not us, not U.S. universities. Right, exactly, Grace Lisa. Good point. Pfizer CEO, Pfizer CEO. Merck is up 4%. Oh. But he can pronounce fiscal, so there's that. Okay, here we go. This is from 5 days ago. Can a multi-billion-dollar deal put Pfizer in the obesity big leagues? Oh. After a couple of failed attempts on its own, Pfizer is hitting the M&A gas to bring in candidates that could help it become a weight loss heavyweight. There he is. There's Borla. Pfizer wants in on the obesity market, and the pharma giant is willing to put up a pretty penny to make it happen. The drug maker announced this week it's acquiring weight loss biotech Metsera for a deal worth $4.9 billion. That's right. You guys were talking about Metsera earlier. Up front, and $7.3 billion down the road. Whether the purchase is enough to propel Pfizer to the major leagues alongside GLP-1 behemoths Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk remains to be seen, but Metsera's lead drug candidate could give Pfizer an edge in getting there, offering a monthly shot as opposed to weekly dosing available with GLP-1s. Pfizer could use a break in the weight loss space following a late-stage clinical program scrapped this year. The second such candidate the company has been forced to cut. The GLP-1 receptor pill danuglipron was pulled due to side effects. But Pfizer execs are bullish on the company's future in the weight loss arena, with Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer Dr. Andrew Baum saying on a conference call that Metsera gives Pfizer a path to leadership. So I think it's really interesting that they're in the middle of this acquisition and they've had some failed drug, weight loss drug things. And I think that's very interesting in terms of their timing and their premier, talk about most favored something. It's most favored corporation, because this most favored corporation would be, as for now at least, the exclusive provider on Trump RX. That seems like a really, really good money deal to me. And I can imagine that this might make their M&A hopes a little easier if they're cooperating with the government. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think about antitrust and this particular merger? No, any corporation that will pay, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it could be any corporation. I'm not saying it's just Pfizer, but... A second quarter earnings call in August, Pfizer CEO Bourla laid out the company's four major pillars: oncology, vaccines, immunology, and inflammation, and now cardiometabolic and obesity. Oh, well, so there's now more. Bourla had no qualms about why Pfizer was getting into the weight loss game. We have interest in this area because this is an area that is very big. No pun intended. He didn't say that. At the time, Bourla was also clear that Pfizer was seeking an acquisition in this space. In fact, Baum had just returned from a business development trip to China to scope the area for companies that could be a match. While China's obesity biotechs are making quick progress, Pfizer ultimately settled on American drug maker with Metsera. Pfizer has been careful with its cash flow following its COVID-19 related boom and bust. And the Metsera deal is the first acquisition in the company since it dropped $43 billion to buy cancer drug maker Seagen in 2023. After the wild success of its COVID-19 vaccine, Pfizer has been on the up and up. Second quarter revenue reached $4.7 billion for 10% operational growth year over year. That's pretty good. On the earnings call, CFO David Denton said that business development efforts would stay exclusively within those 4 pillars, or 6, whichever, however you want to count them. Whoops, where is he? Where are you? Wait, is it back? Wait, no, we had him. Wait, what? Oh, here we go.
Commit to onshore
the
production of our medicines that are consumed in the US
right now
and
it's
are
all
made
just words.
outside the
You're
US.
right.
And for that, we are ready to unleash our investment portfolio in this country. And the President graciously gave us a 3-year grace period that we will not be subject to the 232 tariffs, as long as, of course, we move the products
there you
here.
go.
That's one. The second overhang in our industry was this uncertainty. What will happen with the framework of pricing in the country? Because this uncertainty, it was what was holding people from investing in the pharmaceutical industry, which resulted in significant reduction of our multiples. Actually, our multiples are at historical low. Well, now we have clarity about what is the framework for the US pricing. Read the letter of President Trump, read the 4 points, and this is the framework. And we will abide to that. And going forward, this is how things will be priced in the US and abroad. We are ready to invest, as the President also mentioned, $70 billion in the next few years from Pfizer in manufacturing and research in America alone. I really think this is an historical moment because also I can put that behind us and focus on the things that I want to spend my time, cancer treatments, to bring better obesity medicines, to bring better vaccines, to bring things that people value. And thank you for allowing us to do that. I want to thank Secretary Kennedy. I want to thank Secretary Lutnick. Your leadership helped us to pull that together. You are the masterminds of everything, and without the brilliant way that you designed the whole thing, we wouldn't be able to make it.
The brilliant way you designed the whole thing.
But we're even more brilliant because you had someone in your team that he was the driving force behind everything. And I don't have words to thank you for your integrity. And it is what you have said. We created trust from day one. And that was the most important thing that allowed us to be able to pull very difficult negotiations. Of course, also I want to thank...
That's about all the positive remarks. There you go. That's true.
U.S. trade representative, who is also heavily engaged, and he's probably the first trade representative that I have seen that cares about our industry and cares to do something about unfair situations out there. But more than anyone else, Mr. President, I want to thank you.
What about to the American consumer?
For your leadership and, frankly, for your friendship. Thank you.
Albert, thank you very much. Great job. Great job.
Wow, why don't you all just whip him out? Oh, Marty!
Thank you, Mr. President.
Marty!
The growth of drug spending, that is, the increase in drug pricing, is the fastest and biggest increasing area of healthcare spending. So today's announcement has incredible implications for healthcare spending in the United States. And today marks the beginning of the end of the Great American Ripoff. And it also marks the beginning and the end of a Great American tragedy, something I've seen as a physician at the bedside.
You just called Burla a ripoff artist. Sir.
Side.
Now he's going to his solo
Patients
show.
getting spun up into a financial rage.
You know.
Doing GoFundMe campaigns online, sending repeat reminders, asking people to donate, getting their churches to pass the offering plate from pew to pew, Sunday after Sunday, to try to get enough money to pay for a drug in the United States, a drug that's 5 or 10 times more expensive than the same drug
I know,
in
it's crazy,
France
isn't
or
it,
Germany or the UK. people get spun up, and it's a tragedy. Having cancer is hard enough.
Yeah.
Getting spun up into a financial rage in order to try to get the money to pay for treatment makes it so much harder. 37% of people who go through cancer care say in the end that the financial toxicity makes them want to avoid or delay care in the future. That is, they're done with it. They're done with the system. That's how toxic financial toxicity can be.
I feel like people I know would pretty much do anything to try and have
the U.S. can finance the R&D of the world? Well, that ends today, thanks to President Trump.
Really? Who's going to finance it?
We want
I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Anytime you hear a deal that requires other countries to change their behavior and spend more money, they're not going to do it. And you want to know if the only reason NATO countries might have increased their allocation of defense spending to their NATO forces is because Russia is a credible threat to their sovereignty. That's why. It's not because Dump said, you guys better raise the money you put in your defense thing. No. That's not it. They did it because Russia is a viable threat. So countries aren't just going to bend over because these assholes are, these former television hosts are telling them to. It's so weird. It's so stupid. So we should nationalize the pharma industry, implement Medicare for all, and phase out for-profit healthcare and replace it with nonprofit. Yes, exactly. That's it. Meowing Star, that's it. That's it. And I believe that's going to happen. I believe we're going to get there. Maybe not in my lifetime, but I think we're going to get there.
See R&D. We want to see American pharmaceutical companies
you've
thrive.
Already fired all the scientists.
Pharmaceutical companies that do business and manufacture in the United States thrive. At the FDA, we're doing our part. If you're going to equalize your price to that of other wealthy countries, we're not talking about Zimbabwe. We're talking about Germany, France, UK, Japan, other wealthy countries, the OECD countries. If you equalize your price,
overturn Citizens United. I always say it.
Put your future applications at the front of the line.
Voting rights and Citizens United.
A voucher to get a review in weeks has a market street value of about $500 million.
Canada,
because every day is money when it comes to getting a drug approved. And so if you meet one of the president's national priorities stated very clearly, moving manufacturing to the United States, meeting a large unmet public health need, or equalizing your prices. We're the largest purchasers of drugs. We deserve the best prices. And so we're going to do our part. And if a generic company makes their drug in the United States, that application is going to move to the front of the line as well. And if you're going to build a plant in the United States, our FDA inspectors will walk through that plant during the construction phase, something never done before, so that it's ready on day one. So thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership. They said it couldn't be done, and here we are. Thank you.
No, I think we said it could be done. Are we going to take questions?
Chris, you may want to go up and show one of the boards about.
Can I just have questions? I want you to be asked questions about it.
These are small examples. We're going to have it over 1,000% in some cases. You'll see that during the week. But we just picked out 4 at random, and you see the kind of numbers. Bobby and maybe Albert, good.
But I want to be totally clear, these are not the only 4 examples. And as the President mentioned, this is not the only agreement. It is the first. It's a historic agreement. There are many to come, and we're excited to talk about them. And that means hundreds and hundreds of drugs. We are not exaggerating when we talk about reductions of up to 80%.
So are they saying that Trump RX will include more companies than Pfizer?
We give you 4 examples here. One for dermatitis. The new price at MFN results in 80% reduction to what's available today. One in postmenopausal osteoporosis, 85%. Migraines that affect so many Americans, 50% reductions. Rheumatoid arthritis, something my own mother struggled with, 40% reductions. This is about access.
So
this is about ensuring that Americans have access to life-saving medications.
So I would only have to pay $1,800 a month for my one shot that I take for my psoriatic arthritis versus $3,300. Is that what he's saying? If it's 40% lower, then I'm paying about $2,000 instead of $3,000. Really?
These are real prices.
Pharma manufacturing creates toxic waste. I think that's part of the reason that doesn't do it here.
Thank you very much.
Which is why we're going to eliminate all the regulations.
Everybody here has been incredible. We've been standing here talking about the Make America Healthy Again a lot lately, and I think our meeting
in Cuba, yes,
the other day was excellent on a.
Why don't we become an American technate where we all cooperate with each other? That's fine. I don't like borders. I think borders are stupid. In terms of pricing, it's going to be great for Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. It's going to be great for everything because your medicine costs are coming way down. Really?
We have some examples that I think we'll be able to show you next week of over 1,000% in some cases, where a pill that cost $10 in London was costing $130 in New York and various other places within the United States. And the same thing with Canada. People would go to Canada, they'd go to Mexico, they'd go to other places to buy drugs. They don't have to do that anymore. So we have favorite nations. So that's what we have. And
like right now?
It's one of the biggest days I think anybody will ever have. We're talking about massive numbers.
I mean, yeah.
And the numbers are going to get even better with a little time. And I will say, Albert, I think that the drug companies are going to be the same. You're going to, the world, we're really competing against the world, so they have more people. So we'll come down a lot, and the world's going to go up a little bit.
How? Yeah, how is he saying this when there's a pending 100% tariff? None of this makes sense. None of this. I think he just means it's dangerous even for citizens to cross the border because of USCBP. Yeah, because of our own border patrol.
And the end result is you're going to, I think, do the same business pretty much. Maybe you'll figure a way to do more business, I think, knowing you. But I think the drug companies, we're going to come down a lot, the U.S. The U.S. will come down a lot. But the world, many more people, is going to go up a little bit. And it equalized, and it's a great tribute. And I want to thank everybody up here. JD, thank you for all of your help, too. And Howard, great, really great job. Thank you all very
Howard,
much.
Nutlicker.
Do you have any questions? How about we focus on this?
Here we go. Yeah, focus on this.
It's so big. Let's focus on this.
Can you please give us a timeline?
Mr. President, first of all, this kind of goes along with the America First campaign promises, lowering health care costs.
Oh, brother.
On a day that it seems like we're going into a government shutdown led by Democrats.
No, it's not. You guys run everything. How can it be led by Democrats?
This seems to, your move here is a stark contrast to that. Could the same principles that you did today apply to health insurance, to maybe lower the cost of health insurance? Many Americans are kind of struggling.
And we're working on just that. Little different group, but we're working on just that.
Oh, really?
I don't know to this extent. You know, we have a pill, one pill in particular we're going to show you next week. It sells for $10 in other countries and $137 in the U.S.
Okay.
And that's coming down now to probably $15 or $18. They'll go up to 18. I think that's pretty much right, Albert. It's not you, but they'll go up to 18, and we'll come down from 135 or whatever down to 18. I mean, that's a massive number. Remember, I was the one that held a news conference because I lowered drug prices by 1/4 of 1%. I haven't
gotten my stuff yet.
I think it was 1/8 of 1%, but it was the only one in 28 years that brought drug prices down for the year. But it was a very small number. Now we're talking about you're going to see one over 1,000%. Look at these numbers. So, and this has a big impact, even on the discussion that we'll have with Chuck Schumer, who was here yesterday, along with a very nice gentleman who I didn't really know. You know who I'm talking about. The two of them came, and we had a good discussion, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens. But this has a huge impact on that because these numbers are going to bring Medicaid. We talk about Obamacare. Obamacare is a failure. Obamacare is not good. It's not. It's there. But relative to other health care programs, it's in the lower 20%. It's not good.
Good question.
And I asked
landed cost retail or wholesale.
The Democrat representatives, what do you think about coming up with a better health care.
Oh, I see.
This actually allows you to do that because the cost of prescription medicine is a big, I guess, a very big, more than 50% the cost of what we're talking about. So we might be able to do something like that. This is one of the biggest news conferences from a medical standpoint that I think has ever been had.
If you have to say it, then it's not.
Yeah, please.
Thank you. I'm curious, where are the other companies other than Pfizer? Are you expecting them to come?
They're all with us. And I was honored to have Albert be the first. He's done a fantastic job with, as you know, with the COVID. He did a fantastic job with a lot of things. He's a leader, and Pfizer is right at the top. It's there. Eli Lilly has been fantastic also, your friend, my friend. And they're all coming in over the next week. We're making deals with all of them.
Oh.
And I said, if we don't make a deal, then we're going to tariff them an extra 5, 6, 7, 8%, whatever the difference is, and we'll take it that way.
Wait, what?
So we took away the advantage by the fact that we have tariffs. We took away the advantage that they would have of just saying no, and we couldn't do anything about it. If they do that, what we do is we'd put a tariff on them of an equivalent amount, and we take it that way. And nobody wants to play that game. So they're going to be, they're all going to be
Can I go
good.
back? Yeah.
We didn't have to mention that to Albert. A huge impact on that because he's number.
Which part, Lee? I seriously need a couple of Tylenol. It is nuts. Yeah, yeah. The ACA was a fucking heritage found. I know. Let me go back and see.
It's like we're going into a government shutdown led by Democrats.
About the two of them came and we had a good discussion, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens, but this has a huge impact on that because these numbers are going to bring
tariff the
Medicaid. We talk about Obamacare. Obamacare is a failure. Obamacare is not good. It's not. It's there, but relative to other health care programs, it's in the lower 20%. It's not good.
20% of what?
And I asked
20% of what?
Democrat representatives, what do you think about coming up with a better health care? This actually allows you to do that because the cost of prescription medicine is a big, I guess, a very big, more than 50% the cost of what we're talking about. So we might be able to do something like that. This is a big, this is one of the biggest news conferences from a medical standpoint that I think has ever been had by any administration. Yeah, please.
Thank you. I'm curious, where are the other companies other than Pfizer? Are you expecting them to come?
They're all with us. And I was honored to have Albert be the first. He's done a fantastic job with, as you know, with the COVID. He did a fantastic job with a lot of things. He's a leader, and Pfizer is right at the top. It's there. Eli Lilly has been fantastic also, your friend, my friend. They're all coming in over the next week. We're making deals with all of them. And I said, if we don't make a deal, then we're going to tariff them an extra 5, 6, 7, 8%, whatever the difference is, and we'll take it that way. So we took away the advantage by the fact that we have tariffs. We took away the advantage that they would have of just saying no, and we couldn't do anything about it. If they do that, what we do is we'd put a tariff on them of an equivalent amount.
A tariff on
who?
The
way.
pharmaceutical
and nobody
companies?
wants to play that game. So they're going to be, they're all going to be good.
Don't those go on countries?
We didn't have to mention that to Albert. Well, maybe I whispered it to him very slightly.
Wait, I get your point. So we're going to tariff the companies or the tariffing what? So he thinks he's going to put tariffs on specific companies. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Lee. It doesn't work like that. It comes from the countries where the companies are exporting from, correct? I mean, if I'm actually questioning my own basic knowledge of tariffs. This is all so haphazard. This is all so fucking haphazard.
We had to give ourselves a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, Pfizer and Merck is going up.
But the tariffs
who this is good
played a big role because they know that's what's going to happen.
You mentioned the tariff, the exemption of the 232s, but can you share a timeline for when we can expect the results of that 232 investigation?
Let Howard answer that question, please.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't even know what you said.
While we're negotiating with these companies, we're going to let them play out and finish these negotiations because they are the most important thing to the American people. So we are standing by, helping, and working with them, but The driver of the 232 outcomes is our HHS team because, I mean, look what they've accomplished today. So we are.
I don't know what that answer was. What is that answer?
That is the model that's going to drive.
And you have to understand, Albert's spending $70 billion that he wouldn't be spending because of the tariffs, let's say, and other reasons. I think he liked the winner of November 5th, in all fairness, but because of the tariffs. And that wouldn't happen. He's not going to pay any tariffs because when he moves here, there are no tariffs. So he won't be paying tariffs. That's the beauty of it. If you move here, there are no tariffs. And we have over $17 trillion, Albert. Do you believe these numbers?
No.
So Biden had less than $1 trillion for 4 years. We have over $17 trillion for essentially 8 months. Pretty amazing.
What? Is he talking about business deals or tariff money? Because we just talked about tariff money, and the revenue that has been brought in since whenever, January, is $180 billion with a B. Not $1 trillion. Not even close.
When will prices come down, Mr. President? When can America?
They're going to start coming down. Drug prices? Well, they'll be starting immediately.
Mr. President, can you speak to what impact you think this reduction in drug prices will have on midterms coming up?
I think it's going to have a huge. I said, if we can pull this off before midterms, I've wanted to do it from the beginning, from my first day in first term. And we were doing so well. We had the greatest economy we've ever had. Everything was good. And then we're ready to do this, which is complex and big. It's a big change. But what happened is COVID came, and we focused on COVID. We focused on COVID very hard with Albert, with the other companies, with everybody. Regeneron was a great thing. You know, we did a lot of therapeutics that were fantastic. And so we focused on that. And I said, if I pull this off again, the first thing I'm going to do, and, you know, we've been working on this for 8 months. This is a very big deal. This is a big shock to the system. But it's not as much as I said. They're going to go up. The world is going to go up a little bit. We're going to come down a lot. But now it's fair.
Mr. President,
we're going to be paying the same thing. Yeah.
President Trump, in your first term, when you cut the price of insulin, Biden later came in. He tried to steal credit for that. Do you think that? Do you worry that the Democrats are going to try to steal credit for these historic cuts?
Wait, what?
I really appreciate your question because I did. I cut the price of insulin down to $35.
What?
And the problem is with many of these things. Now, this case is going to be pretty quick, but oftentimes you'll do something medically because of the process,
I have no idea
and
why.
it won't be seen for 2 or 3 years.
There we go. Now
happened also with I could say 4 different things, but just if you talk about insulin, so it was 200, 300, 500, and you couldn't get it, and I got it down to 35.
Ooh, that's too much.
And I said, I hope I win the next election because otherwise, whoever wins is going to take credit for it. Well, what happened is we did win the election. We did
Are you
great,
kidding
but
me?
unfortunately, it didn't work out that way from a practical standpoint. And Biden, when I saw him get up and take credit for the $35 and even less insulin, that was 1,000% lower than what it was just previous. Boy, I tell you, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I did the best I could to let him know we did it because we want to be given credit. But we are the ones that got insulin down to that number. And you're right. They tried to take credit for it. They had nothing to do. In fact, they didn't even know what happened. All of a sudden, the insulin price kicked in at $35. And they asked Biden about it. He had no idea what the hell they were talking about. But after they explained, and they didn't really explain to him because he was not capable really of understanding it. But when they went out and talked about it, they acted like it was a great feat by Biden. It had nothing to do with him. And it continues, and we'll get it down even further. But insulin was, people weren't taking it, I would imagine. They couldn't take it. God bless you, Bobby. I hope I didn't catch COVID just there.
Yeah, because he's not vaccinated. He's not vaccinated.
He's got Paxlovid.
Mr. President.
Give me a Paxlovid immediately.
Mr. President, you can...
While Nancy Pelosi is ignoring what you're doing for the American people,
This
she's going
bitch.
after
Who's
your
this little
administration
bitch
for
who keeps
cutting
interrupting the woman?
taxpayer-funded health care for illegal aliens. Last night,
who is doing that?
Nancy Pelosi. She
No,
went
she
on
wouldn't.
NBC
Who's
last
Nancy
night, dropped a
Pelosi?
bunch of F-bombs, told Republicans to go F themselves. Has she lost her mind?
Has she
We
lost her
have
mind?
Done an unbelievable job medically. Just this, if you did nothing
Fuck
else,
this-
we've done a lot like
that
the insulin.
cunt. Who's that cunt?
But just this, nobody can ever catch
Who's
this.
that
This
fucking
is the
little
biggest
cunt?
price reduction times, maybe 10 times, 15 times. than has ever been given before. And this is going to have a huge impact. You know, as I said, Obamacare is not a good thing. It's been bad. And I'd like to make it better. I told them, I spoke to a lot of people, a lot of Democrats recently. I said, why don't we change it? We can make Obamacare much better.
How do you make it better?
We could
tell us how.
Come up with a new system that would be
tell
much
us
better,
how.
less expensive for the people and better.
Tell us how.
This is maybe the biggest breakthrough because, you know, when you're talking about the prescription.
Then tell us how. If you have something better than Obamacare, then fucking tell us. You've had almost 10 years to come up with it. What is it?
The drugs, that's a big part of it. So we're going to look, this is prescription, but we're going to be looking at that. We could come up and through this whole thing, you know, because, I don't know, we'll probably have a shutdown because one of the things they want to do is they want to give incredible Medicare, the Cadillac Medicare, to illegal immigrants. And what that does is it keeps them coming into our country.
No.
And like they do in California.
I thought they weren't.
And no country can afford that.
I thought they weren't coming in. I thought
we
were done.
We have the border stopped up. We have it closed. We have nobody for 4 months. Zero people came in. That wasn't me.
Well,
That's
then
me
I think this is
by
a
the authorities
non-issue
who happen to be liberally oriented. But just think of that. We have people offering health care to people all over the world that they can't afford to pay.
What?
And that's the Democrats. And what happens, what that does is it brings people into the country because they want to come in for the health care. But no country can afford it, and they can't afford it. So we cannot allow them to charge tremendous amounts of money for health care for people that aren't even citizens. And in many cases, they come in from prisons, jails, and mental institutions. And we can't let that happen.
No.
So we have a big fight over that. We have a fight over open borders. They still want open borders. We're having a fight over men and women's sports, if you believe it.
Oh, you can't believe it. Oh, you can't believe it.
And we have a fight in transgender, as you know, transgender for everybody. And that, when you talk medically, that's a lot of money too. That's a lot. Those operations are bad. So.
What?
Those things are also being discussed right now. I mean, can you imagine we're actually talking about open borders, and we now have a great border, and we have a great country. Our country was dead 1 year ago. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. Big difference. Yeah.
Mr. President, undocumented.
State of the Democrat Party when they have a 33%
favorability rating
designed
to stop this woman from asking questions.
The government over.
That's what that little bitch. Look at these little beardos. Want to talk about beardos? Those are two beardos.
I told you we have $17 trillion being invested. So the last person that wants it shut down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently.
Okay. What he's saying is that if the government shuts down, he'll just let Russ Vought cut even more. He's basically killing people to own the libs. That's what he's doing.
Because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but
he's threatening to cut people off of their benefits because the government shuts down. He's threatening Americans. He's threatening Americans. I don't even understand this.
We don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And
you're just talking about cutting people. You already took care of the fraud, waste, and abuse, apparently.
And get massive health care at the cost to everybody else, and we don't have it. And that's I would say, the number one reason that they want to strike is to get illegal immigrants health care.
What?
And Gavin Newsom wants that too in California.
No, we don't.
It's destroying California.
I actually read.
We can't have that. We're not going to let it.
Fuck you. I actually read last night what the Democrats were asking for. And it had nothing to do with health care for a specific population. It didn't have anything to do with that. We do need a general strike. Badger, I don't think people give a shit. I really don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I don't think people really give a shit. I think everybody's fine planning their vacations and, getting their hair done and, going for a weekend. Yeah, what would you do if you wanted everyone below about middle class to not be living anymore? Undocumented, oh my God. You know what? I want undocumented people in this country to have access to health care because, frankly, I want us to be a healthy society. Okay? Yeah, that's true. I'm in Ontario. I get people not giving a shit. Yeah.
Mr. President, undocumented immigrants,
Do you have a plan for dealing with drug companies that are responding to MFN only by raising prices overseas as opposed to lowering prices in the U.S.?
No, they're responding. I understand that question very well, but they're responding by lowering prices.
They are?
They're helped by lowering prices. There's a price at which they can't sell, and they're helped by lowering prices. In the case of Albert and in the case of Eli Lilly, the fact is, our prices are coming down.
I know.
Massively.
You do those things and
that's
still
just
care.
A few of
right,
the basics.
Exactly.
But they're coming down
there are
much
other people
more
who
than
aren't
that
even
with
aware.
many drugs. And over 1,000%. Think of that, over 1,000% reduction. And we'll show you that next week because we have some of them on the board next week where you have over 1,000% price reduction.
Wait,
no,
okay.
What's going to happen is you're going to have the market will kick in.
When prices increase, you can say they increased 1,000%, right? You can say that. When they lower, it's really 100% is your max when you're lowering something. Okay? Chuds?
This way, the market kicks in. The other way, it was just basically, it was just a form of control. You were stifling the market.
So following up on Brian's point, is a shutdown inevitable? And how would you describe the negotiations with Democrats yesterday? Are more meetings scheduled?
So nothing is inevitable, but I would say it's probably likely because they want to give health care to illegal immigrants, which will destroy health care for everybody else in our country.
That's not what it said.
And I didn't see them bend even a little bit when I said we can't do that.
I understand. We're almost done.
Mr. President.
Can I ask a question of Dr. Oz, Administrator? If there is no deal reached on the Obamacare subsidies with the Democrats, is there anything that CMS can do to lower those, or to mitigate the increases of those Obamacare subsidies?
Not really.
Okay, I'm just going to stop him there because this is the question. This is the question. It's about ending the subsidies for Obamacare so that people, they didn't? Oh my God. I know, I didn't see the lawnmower thing. Wonder why. I get YouTube does. I have no things on my except for certain words, but YouTube tends to censor people. That's weird. The Obamacare, the subsidy for people to get Obamacare treatment. By the way, if you've looked at the marketplace for Obamacare, the monthly premiums are actually quite expensive. Okay, they're actually quite expensive. And yet, that still is the only option for a lot of people to have access to health care. Right? It might have. I don't know. But the ending the subsidies is what the Democrats are holding up in the reconciliation, in the continuing resolution bill. That's what they're holding up. That's what they're holding up.
But we have time. We have time till the end of the year to make the changes. I know the president is evaluating, but we should have a clean, continuing resolution, get past this budget process as it has happened so many times, and allow the president and leadership some freedom to be able to put some good ideas in front of
because there's nothing on the
bodies.
Online chat.
Mr. President, undocumented immigrants.
We actually do have time for that.
They're not eligible for the health care subsidies that Democrats are demanding. So can you clarify, what are you talking about when you say Democrats want to protect their health care?
She's gone.
So when an illegal person comes in, a person who came into our country illegally.
She knows what you mean about that.
And look, we all have big hearts. I have a bigger heart than you do. They're all breaking the law, and they're coming into our country. And we just, as a country, cannot afford to take care of millions of people who have broken the law coming in. We want them to come into our country, but we want them to come in legally.
That's not her
we have
question.
a strong border, very strong border, thanks to
That's not
Christy
her question.
and Tom Homan and the whole group. They've done an amazing job at the border. I mean,
He's
we had
not
a border
answering
that
her
was
question.
Reckless. We had a border that was a disaster. They were coming in by the millions. I say 25 million people. You're saying less, but I say 25 million people came in illegally.
Weird.
And no system can take care of the health care of all of those people that came in. Now, a lot of them have gone out. We have over 11,000 murderers. We got many of them out. Many of those people have been taken out of the country, brought back to where they came from. In some cases, put in prison because they're so dangerous. We don't want to take them out.
Go back to the question, though.
We have to watch
Democrats are not asking for that. So what do you mean?
But if you look at what's happened in Washington, D.C. right now, it is such a place. I just drove through it.
Like congestive heart failure.
It's clean and nice and beautiful, and people are walking around and they're not afraid of being mugged. We haven't had murders.
Sir, you're not answering the question.
Anything happen in a long time.
That wasn't my question.
It took us 12 days to make it very good. It took us 20 days to make it beautiful. And now we're going to Memphis. But I think we should always keep a presence here, because if we don't keep a presence, it's going to come back.
Look at Oz. What
never
a
like it was,
because
we got rid of 1,700 career criminals. You know what that is? One career criminal can give you a lousy reputation for danger, because they commit many crimes a day in some cases.
Really?
But Washington, D.C. is an unbelievable example of what can happen. And now we're going, as you know, to Memphis, which was very similar to Washington, very dangerous.
Really?
And we're there.
I don't know why they let him get away with this shit.
The mayor, a lot of these Democrat mayors, you know what they don't want? They don't want to have us do well, because if we do well, it makes them look bad, and they shouldn't feel that way. If I were a Democrat and I was a governor or mayor, I'd be calling Trump. I'd say, get your troops over here, just help. Because the mayor of Washington is getting a lot of credit for what we did. You know, a lot of credit. But the beauty is, isn't it nice? Seriously, you walk down the street, you're not going to be mugged. You're not going to be hit. We had a meeting about 3-4 months ago, and I was saying to the
I guess
media,
he's just happy he's
how many
got
of you
a job.
people have been threatened or mugged or accosted?
I mean,
during
hire
your
them
walk
for
to the
something.
White House?
If they're committing
And
multiple
they said, we
crimes
don't
a
walk
day.
to the White
My
House
God.
anymore.
That's
But
awesome.
the answer was, remember, Brian, almost everybody's,
Remember
look at this guy.
Brian,
They
my
even attacked
favorite?
this big, strong guy, right? Didn't you get attacked?
Not Brian.
Did you? But, yeah, just take a look at the other guy, right? What happened to the other guy? I don't know. Those other guys are pretty tough.
He's lying
They're tough with a
about
gun
all
in their
this.
hand, right? And, yeah, you were hit pretty hard. But almost everybody was.
What
And
was
now,
the question?
Nobody. Anybody been accosted in the last 3 weeks? If I would have said that 6 months ago, half the hands would have been raised out. No, we have a very safe city now. The country's going to be safe. We're doing one at a time, and we'll be going to Chicago. I told you this, sir. Union Pacific, head of the railroad. He knows this country very well. Started off as a very low-rung employee of the Union Pacific. He's now chairman. He came to me and he said, sir, save Chicago. It's a great city. It's going down fast. They had 11 people killed over the last couple of weeks. 11 people killed.
Really? Just
48
11?
shot.
No, I'm just.
That's not a city. That's a war zone. There's no city in the world like that. And then we have to listen to this
He's always
Pritzker
said
get
11.
up. I know
It's
him
been
well.
11
they threw him
for
out of his
3
business,
weeks.
and the family threw him out of the business because he's
No.
a loser. But we have to listen to Pritzker get up. He should call me and say,
Pritzker's family
"Get the
owns
troops
the
in."
Hyatt
You ever
hotel
hear that?
chain.
11
I think
people
Dump
over a
is a
week and a
little
half killed.
jealous.
And I think it's 48,
That's
when you
what I
add it
think.
up, 48 people shot. And then I have to listen to a governor say how nice it is. It's a wonderful experience. Now, what is a wonderful experience is D.C. People are eating in the restaurants. They just opened 2 new restaurants, which hasn't
Oh my
worked
God!
in years.
2 new restaurants. How do you
And
know
we had
that?
it pretty good 4
Yeah,
years
he
ago.
loves
We were just
personal
getting ready
insults.
to do
He
this.
really does. Because
But we
people
did it
are
right.
finally,
And, you know, we have
finally
a big
people
victory in the
have to
Supreme
treat
Court.
him with
It's called
something
merit.
like respect.
And so that includes the military. Our soldiers, did you see what they look like? These guys, they look like serious soldiers. They weren't playing games, and they went in there.
Sir, the question was, the Democrats have not asked for health care for illegal immigrants.
Washington, D.C. is now a beautiful, safe city.
What is your
response? The restaurants are thriving. The people are walking down the street holding their husband or their boyfriend's hand, and they're not worried about being raped or mugged or shot at. And it's been an amazing thing. And we'll do that in every city. We'll do them sort of one at a time. We'll do a couple at a time.
Gold-filled.
And we have a tremendous force because, as you know, in recruitment numbers, when we put out 2 years ago, when Biden would put out recruitment,
why don't you talk about
nobody would join. Nobody wanted to be in the military. Nobody wanted to be police.
Yep.
It was just announced this morning. You probably saw my speech over with the military, with the generals, admirals. Record numbers of people signing up for the Navy, the Army.
Okay, the
Air
question
Force, Marines,
was about Democrats and what they're asking for in the continuing resolution, if you don't remember. It was about 10 minutes ago.
We have record numbers of people signing up, and that includes police department, fire department. So, it's been an amazing thing.
I just want to see if there's any more good
questions. We're going to have another meeting next week on this.
Okay, is there any other? I don't think there's any other questions. And if there are other questions, you're going to find them. You're going to find them in another place. So I'm not going to make you watch this anymore. Oh my God, I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. I know. I waited too long, didn't I? That is still the woman's question about the fact that the Democrats have not asked to give free health care or any kind of health care, I guess, to people who are here undocumented. That's not true. None of that is true. And he couldn't answer that, which is why he just kept weaving. Talk about a weave. That was insane. That was a tapestry. Wow. Well, we're coming up on 4 hours, so I'm probably going to let you go, but please join me tomorrow. Please join me tomorrow as we continue the saga of trying to understand what the fuck is going on. We're going to call the shows that. What the fuck is happening with Lolo? Which is not necessarily true because I can't even get to all of it. I literally can't get to everything that's happening. I don't even have the ability. Oh my God. All right. Well, tonight is a documentary. I'm thinking of the Pee Wee Herman documentary on Netflix. There was another documentary, though, that just came up that I thought was interesting. I'll have to take a look. But there will be a documentary. It is going to be at a new time tonight. Please note, new time for documentary and movie nights. It is 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, everything in between and outside of that. Tonight, on Discord, movie night, documentary. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for coming today. I adore you. Please have the rest of a great Tuesday. Please, I hope your Tuesday improves markedly over the last few hours you've had to listen in on this. So, yeah, I want to see the Pee Wee one. I want to see the Pee Wee. All right. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Hang in there.